Wait just a second. For some reason, it just popped this up. Hang on just a second. Okay, here we go. Let's try that again. We'll just wait 1 second. What's going on, guys? Welcome to WorldBreakerz podcast. We got Cuff, we got James, and we got Dino. I about forgot everyone's name. I'm all over the place. We're praying we keep the power on. It's thundering here really bad, so we gotta try to keep the electricity. So let's just hope to God we don't lose it.
You gotta pay that light bill.
Now we paid the light bill. God's just about to send us more light, and it's gonna overload us.
Hey, you need electricity. You gotta find Herb Abrams, Mr. Electricity.
I'll go dig him up. I'll summon him with a kilo of cocaine real quick.
Oh, here we go.
Herbie cookies and everything.
With a kilo of cocaine, Herbie cookies, and cowboy boots. Oh man, but
y'all are something.
I'm glad everyone's here. We're about to get this party started here. I think we're going to go ahead and start with the Dominion and Alwayz Ready results. Cover the NWA results. There was 2 pay-per-views this weekend. One in Japan and one... Where did they have... I don't even know where they had Alwayz Ready, but it was in the United States, I'm assuming. But
yeah.
So,
speaking of which, I heard that Japan was coming to Charlotte in July 24th, I believe.
Yeah,
yep,
I want to go to that. I think... I was thinking about be like, guys, we should consider going.
Yeah, the Grady Cole Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I know somebody's going to be there, probably working. Our good friend Dutch.
Yep,
he's probably going to be working there. Yeah, and other good friend Patrick and Brian, they run PWX. They probably are going to be there assisting also. But yeah, just to put that out there, if you're in the Charlotte area, hit that up. We'll probably be there.
Yeah, I think that's about a month out from now. So yeah, definitely get your tickets. Go watch. I mean, I was thinking about getting them balcony seats and getting a good view of what was going on and not having to break the bank too much. But let's go ahead.
You said the balcony seats. All I could think of was those 2 old men on the Muppet Show to be up in the balcony.
Oh, that's me. God, that's me. I'll be talking shit like, "Oh, you done screwed up that kick. You better watch out." Nah, Bobby gonna be the one getting in trouble. Talking shit. Oh, speaking of Bobby's on assignment this week, so no Bobby this week, but he will be back next week.
Yeah, he's out. He's on special assignment. He's out looking for Vince Russo. That's his number 1 favorite friend. Mm-hmm. I know they call each other all the time and stuff. So
Bobby's even been working on his New York accent.
I think. I still think
he's looking for that acclaim CD at FYE.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he's hiding.
He's working on his battle rap. He's working on his collab with Max Caster.
Yeah. No, he's hiding because Luchasaurus lost last night, so he's in hiding. Because we called everything that happened in wrestling. We called it this week, so he's hiding,
and he's still looking for quote my Sting, whatever that means.
I think Tony Khan watches this show now because everything that we said last week turned out to be true.
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Tony Khan, I hope that check's in the mail.
Yeah, Tony, we're better than Dave Meltzer. Come on.
Yeah.
Goddamn right we are.
Better than Dave Meltzer. Not Sean Ross Sapp. Sean Ross Sapp's where I get all my
information. We better than him too.
Okay, we're better than him then. Even though I get all my information from him, but anyway. So yeah, NWA Alwayz Ready pay-per-view results. Our boy Rodney Mack beat Magic Jake Dumas. I don't know who Jake. Does anybody know who Jake Dumas is? Like
what?
Jake Dumas.
I know Rodney Mack.
Well, I know Rodney Mack.
I don't know the other guy, but I know Rodney Mack.
Rodney Mack had a fun gimmick in WWE.
Man, you couldn't hit it out.
Am I cutting in and out?
Yeah,
yep.
Can you hear me?
You were talking, but nothing was coming.
You were talking like James a few episodes back.
Oh, let me make sure my mic's plugged all the way in.
Yeah. If you put in, I've just put it in on Google. You put in Jake Dumas on Newton, you get Lita.
Get what?
I have just put in Jake Dumas on Google, and all I've had, and at the bottom I've got Lita wrestler.
Oh. Well,
Magic.
I mean, this is a pre-show match. To be fair, this is a pre-show match, and the other pre-show match,
like a grabber, probably.
That the Mortons defeated AJ Kazana and Anthony Andrews, and I guess there's another team of Jeremiah Plunkett and Alex Taylor. So it's a 3-way tag team match, I'm assuming.
I think their names are the Fixers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but our Ricky Morton out here rock and roll, still going.
Yeah, man.
I think this is like his last. He has like a fair. I think he's having like him and whatever his tag team partner name is. Are they doing like a farewell tour?
Yeah.
Ricky and what's his son's name?
Kerry.
Kerry. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was another R name, but yeah. So, and then the main show started. Aaron Stevens had his final match, at least maybe in NWA. I don't know if this is his actual last match, but Trevor Murdoch beat him.
Yeah,
and I mean
that was his last match. I heard he.
Do you think it's time for him to go back to WWE to redo Sandow? If he's finished with NWA, surely now it's time for him to go back to WWE and do the Sandow gimmick properly.
I bet you he's going to be Elias if he goes back.
I'm just going to say that, actually. Yeah, he's going to be Elias, isn't he?
I've heard people say that on Twitter. Like,
come back on Raw.
God. But I mean, it'd be cool because Sandow was like fantastic. He got a raw deal, I thought. Especially winning Money in the Bank and losing.
He had the audacity to get over without the help of WWE. The fans got him over with what he did. He was the hottest thing in WWE for ages, and it pissed McMahon off because he didn't make it. It was the fans that made Sandow. Same as Fandango. Same as him.
Same as a former NWA champion we're going to mention here in a minute.
Which version of Sandow did you like? Damian Sandow, the scholar, and the gentleman? Or Damian Mizdow?
Stuntman by a mile. It was so funny.
I mean,
you just couldn't. When you've got the wrestlers in that ring and they're looking at each other going, "Have you seen what he's doing?" And they're laughing. And how the Miz ever kept his face straight, I'll never know. But it was just so funny. It was just classic to watch it, and it never been done before. And they were like, "What's he doing?" And even JBL outside was like, "What is he doing? What is he doing? I can't concentrate on the match here."
Yeah.
I mean, I love the scholar gimmick. I'm not gonna lie, I love the scholar gimmick because he
scholar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he cut like great promos as a heel, and he was just like this. Like he was just so good at what he did as far as that went. But as a babyface, as a stunt double, they should have ran with that.
Yep.
Yeah, easy.
But it's WWE.
Hey, you remember that match with Miz and Mizdow versus Dolph Ziggler and R-Truth? R-Truth was Dolph Ziggler's stunt double.
Anybody bought that?
It was like a yin and a yang.
Jesus Christ. God, that shit was.
Sandow's run, I'm surprised that they never even gave him like a like an intercontinental title run or something.
The most he got was a tag title, wasn't it?
I know. I thought he deserved at least the United States or an intercontinental title run.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, all he got was a tag title run with Cody.
It just so happened to be that he was in that time when the Shield were red hot, weren't he? It was just that everything happened around the Shield. So it was just a misfortune of what I had. No matter what anybody did, the Shield would have always had the belts around that way anyway. So
yeah,
that was a hot commodity. Like I was surprised that I remember first seeing the gimmick. I didn't know how long they were going to last together, but they were stood to be one of the best factions of all time. Like, or up there in the argument.
Yeah.
How they did Damian Sandow when he won the Money in the Bank.
Do what?
So they couldn't tell me how they did Damian Sandow when he won Money in the Bank.
Yeah, they did him wrong there for that.
The shit out of Cena just for Cena to come back and
least he did get to cash it in. Hell, Otis won it and didn't even get to cash it in.
That's the Canada you think?
Yeah, he
was
was Mr.
rough.
Kitty 2.0.
I actually got a funny story of Sandow cashing in the Money in the Bank. So, me and my late father was watching Raw, and we saw him cash in. I'm like, oh shit, Sandow's about to win the title tonight. Because, cash in, not a lot of people failed. I'm like, Sandow's about to win this shit. And then fucking Cena won. I'm like, I fucking hate WWE right now. I really hate them right now because I wanted Sandow to win that shit.
Yeah, he was doomed when he went up against Cena. When nobody beating Cena.
What? Well, once he started hitting the 5 moves of doom and shit, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, please, cut him off. Didn't happen. Like, son of a bitch. Yeah. But anyway, we got the NWA Women's Tag Team Championship. Pretty Empowered defeated the Hex to become the new tag team champions. The Pretty Empowered of Ella Envy and Kenzie Page, and the Hex had Allison Kay and Marty Bell.
Yeah.
I heard of the Hex. I just never heard of Pride and whatever you said their name was.
I've heard of Kenzie Page. Kenzie Page rings a bell. But Marty Bell and Allison Kay, they're a pretty good tag team. I mean, they were like one of the first big feuds when the NWA came back to YouTube.
Yeah.
Like,
God bless YouTube.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday night, midnight, I used to watch NWA. Every night, every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic. Loved it. Even when Jim Cornette got the booted off it.
God. Like, man, you can't say that, bro. You can't say that.
It's a 30-year-old joke.
An out-of-date Ethiopia joke. Like, come on, dog.
Bro,
yeah, that was really outdated because I remember like back in the day, that was like the butt of jokes was like Ethiopia, They're like, damn, man, you like one of them Ethiopians that don't get no food or something,
Yeah.
That was Starving Marvin.
Yeah, Starving Marvin. Like, but now it's like, real dated. Come in from Cornette. I'm like, damn, bro, you just messed yourself up on that.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm not doing any more wrestling anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, he just rage quit the wrestling business at that point. But
when does he not ever quit when does he ever not quit the wrestling business? He says in his podcast all the time, I'll never do this, I'll never do that, da 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 da. Sure, we know he'll be back somehow, somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where he'll be though. I think he's about burnt all of his bridges.
I don't think he burned them all. I think he still got a bridge
maybe
there
Impact.
with WWE.
He could probably let Impact maybe. Impact, the only reason he left Impact was because the headquarters was going to be in Canada. And he can't go into Canada.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, he can't go into Canada. He's banned.
Oh.
Like, I think.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I can't remember why it was exactly, but I remember him telling that story.
It wouldn't happen to be because he came up with the finish for the Montreal Screwjob, would it?
No, that wasn't it. No. I can't remember what it was. I need to go back and research that. If chat remembers, tell me in chat. But like I don't remember. Like, I don't remember it all. Like, I remember him telling the story, but it's on YouTube. I know that for sure because I think there's like this compilation of like the stories of why he left each company. So there's like a big compilation. It's like about an hour long, like him leaving WWE.
It's not the Vince McMahon omnibus that's 7.5 hours long. Then, dear me.
I actually listened to that at one point at a work shift. I listened to that whole thing, like while I was working, doing whatever. But so anyway, we had 2 NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship matches. The first one, which was the scheduled one, was Homicide beating PJ Hawk. I've seen a little bit of PJ Hawk. His I can't remember if that's the kid or if that's his father, because I know they're a father-son duo, the Hawks. But and then they had Colby Carino cashing in his championship series shot, and he lost to Homicide. So Homicide won twice in one night.
WWE was looking at trying to bring in Colby Carino at one point. I don't know what happened with that. I think he had a tryout match.
Probably saw how small he was.
Probably. But his dad works for WWE, so hell, you know.
He needs to, like, I think if Colby Corino puts on, like, 20 pounds of muscle, I think he's golden. Colby Corino's good.
Yeah, he is.
He just don't have the look. That's his problem. I mean, it's obviously in his blood. Like, Steve Corino is one of the more underrated wrestlers in the world. And, like, Colby, I mean, he's got potential. I think he just needs to work on his body a little bit, which I don't know if that's something he's tried or what the case may be with that. But I think Corino has all the potential in the world. And Homicide, what more can we say about Homicide?
Yeah.
Vance carried Hernandez the whole time. And
I mean, Homicide's been wrestling for over 20 years, if I'm not mistaken.
What else James at? Like, I hear him, but I don't see him.
Wait, what?
I think I said holding your phone.
I said Homicide. I said, yeah, there's more. What more can we say about Homicide? I was like, well, he carried the fuck out of Hernandez in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, Hernandez could have been a big star, too, if he was, like, any good in the ring. He
remember that
was over.
He was the Mexican Ahmed Johnson.
Oh, God, no.
I wouldn't say that much.
No,
that's a bit harsh.
To him.
That's a bit harsh. That's mean.
You can't say that to him. No. Poor thing.
That water toss looked horrendous, man. Like, he was like, guys was laying in on their naked head. I'm like, damn.
It was an MVP music video. He did that shit on somebody in a pool, and it damn near like he damn near dropped. He did that on a woman into a pool. I'm like, he about damn near dropped the woman on her neck.
Yeah.
Before she landed in the pool. I'm like, shit.
I remember that one match with Ahmed Johnson. He threw X-Pac over the top rope. I was like, damn. Like, X-Pac man.
He still killed that one member of PG-13 too at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, disintegrated that table.
I remember him turned heel and not one fuck was given by the entire audience. He turned heel, went on the Undertaker, and he did that power slam, whatever he called it, sidewalk slam, whatever he called it. And there was not one fuck was given in the entire audience. It was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And nobody gave a shit. He joined the Nation of Domination.
For a group of black guys, the Nation of Domination, he really did not even fit in there.
He did not fit at all.
I'm like,
he fitted less than the two white rappers.
Hey, we will not disrespect PG-13 like that.
Like, the thing is, what kills me is the fact that, like, Ahmed Johnson's gimmick was literally, I didn't take my Prozac today and I'm going to fucking kill you. Tell me it was anything else. It was literally, I did not take my Prozac and I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, and
Juice Make Sugar.
How many pads could he fit on the part of his body? That was the thing. I've never seen so many pads on parts of bodies in my life.
He's got his elbow pads up here. They don't even cover his elbows.
It was.
Ahmed joined the Nation for like a week.
And 5 pads.
I think Ahmed was in the Nation for like a week. Then he kicked him out.
Yeah.
And then Farouk, I still remember the promo Farouk cut on him.
Ahmed joining the Nation was like Sting joining the Four Horsemen. It just didn't work.
Oh, God, man.
Well, yeah. Every time.
Or Sting joining the NWO. Didn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
Sting.
That was the funniest part, though. Because I just remember the promo that Farouk cut on Ahmed after he kicked him out. He said he wants to be pretty, like Shawn Michaels. He said, well, he was under all that thick black skin. Some white man. And then he told him, he said, you couldn't be black if they sandblasted your ass 20 times. that line is probably one of my favorite lines. He's like, well, let me tell you something, my man. You couldn't be black if they sandblasted your ass 20 times.
If they're going to put a faction in the Hall of Fame next, they've got to put the Nation of Domination. Because look who was in that. Look who was in that.
That's an all-star group right there.
That's, you got Godfather, D-Lo, Rock, Farouk, Von Simmons.
Yeah.
You could put all them in a one group. Oh, man. You'd have to, and Mark Henry.
And
Owen Hart.
They got to put Ron Simmons' belt in
well, they're not going to include Owen Hart.
Oh God, no, yeah.
Because
They might have to.
Marcus
Who's the
will
dude
tell them
name
to
who
go
played
fuck
Owen Hart
themselves.
when they did the Nation of Domination parody?
Jason Sensation.
They're gonna have to
Jason
use him if they
Sensation.
put him in.
I don't want to be a nugget.
Man, I think the fans would damn drag the hell out of WWE if they did that shit.
Oh God.
Bret Hart would drag the hell out of damn WWE if they did that shit.
Oh dear, yeah.
I will say this much though: if they put the Nation in, they gotta have a special place in the Hall of Fame for Farouk's belt.
The ass whooping belt.
I'm gonna whip your ass, boy. I'm gonna whip your ass, boy.
I had to show my friends that because I made a reference to it. I had to show them that video of Farouk just whooping their ass with a belt.
I was gonna say they would have to probably include damn Savio Vega and Crush too.
Oh, the original Nation, yeah.
And PG-13.
Man.
All of them on there.
It became better.
Fucking Wolfie D and what's his name? Can't think of the other member.
I know one of them wrestled in TNA like in the early beginning, like TNA, and it's like when it was NWA TNA.
They wrestled in ECW too, PG-13. They wrestled in ECW for a little while. I think that's actually when they left the Nation.
We are the Nation, and we're loving in color.
You put them in, you're going to have to put in damn ICP.
Nope. Nope. The best thing that happened to ICP is when RVD kicked Shaggy 2 Dope's teeth out. That was the best thing.
I will say this much as I wasn't a fan of ICP's like music, I will say that WCW run was, I say, decent.
Oh, you talking about when they was with Vampiro?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I thought
got
they did
changed from ICP with Vampiro to who was it? The Misfits?
It was the Dark Carnival. That was their name. They're Dark Carnival.
Yeah.
Like I as much as a hater of ICP I am, they were over as fucking WWE with the oddities.
Oh God, yeah. That's
like
so
everybody
hilarious.
was like doing the hand things whenever they would come out. They were over.
Yeah,
You know,
almost as good as Tarzan Boy.
Videos recently. Giant Silver was a damn MMA fighter.
Wait, what?
Giant Silver from the Oddities. He's an MMA fighter.
Oh wow!
I didn't know that.
What?
Yeah, look on YouTube, Giant Silver MMA, and they show like some matches that he's had. I think he fought Bob Sapp at one point.
Bob Sapp.
Everybody's fought Bob Sapp at one point.
Speaking of ICP, I still remember that match they had in WCW where I think they were fighting Mike Awesome. And
he powerbombed him off the bus, wasn't it?
Yeah, the fat chick Thriller.
Hey, he also bought one of them motherfuckers off that bus.
Off that school bus. Yeah.
He hit the bus and then he slid off of that shit.
Yeah.
My man hit the ground and then slid off the bill like.
Oh my god!
He had to crawl down the pedal.
Yeah, there's lots of his fights on YouTube. Yeah, Giant Silver. Yeah, got it here.
Yep.
Dear God, the height difference there. Wow.
There was weight class.
I was gonna say there was no weight classes back then. They just
Giant Silver. That's Kurgan, right?
So what?
Was it Giant Silver? That's Kurgan, right? The guy who was Kurgan.
No, somebody else.
Guy.
He made Kurgan look tiny. This guy was massive, 7 foot.
Oh, he had Golga, who was Earthquake.
John Tinson.
Yeah, Golga was Earthquake. Yeah.
Yeah, but
me.
Kurgan. He's an actor, I believe.
Yeah, I think I've seen.
He was in like Sherlock
generic
Holmes
big dude.
Yeah, he was in like that Sherlock Holmes movie that Robert Downey Jr. starred in, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when he was like doing the dancing thing, and then that's when like, okay, you're gonna dance now. Thanks, Vince McMahon. But anyway, back to the NWA card. Natalia Markova defeated Taya Valkyrie, which I'm big on. Natalia Markova. I'm big on her. She's like got a lot of potential, I think. She's she's got a Russian gimmick. I don't know if she's legit Russian, but she's kind of has a Russian accent, and she's got like this, gimmick like where she's just like just basically an asshole bitch, and she does her job really well. So
it's Lana in another company then.
Well,
But she's basically like a badass Lana.
Yes and no. But she's a way better worker than Lana ever would dream of, in my opinion.
That's not hard. That's not hard.
No, it ain't.
I was about to say that's not saying much.
But she's pretty good. I like her. Like, I think she's got a lot of potential. I can just kind of just I don't know. I can't describe it, but I think she's got it. That's my opinion. But NWA
Wait till John.
Do what?
Wait till John Laurinaitis sees her. He'll be having a, oh yeah, she'll look good in us. Yeah.
Well, John Laurinaitis would actually love her if he went off looks, because she is a good-looking woman. But yeah, old Mr. Cotton Panties himself. But
yeah,
anyway,
if she's in the catalog, he'll find her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's in the actual wrestling company, so he won't find her. But
oh no, not a chance then.
Yeah.
You're gonna invite her to People Power.
But anyway, the NWA National Heavyweight Championship, Jax Dane retains against Chris Adonis. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to remember Jax Dane. Like, the name rings a bell, but I mean, I'm obviously a Chris Adonis fan. Chris Masters.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm like,
What?
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I said I know who Chris Adonis is just because he's Chris Masters.
I've seen Jax Dane. I'm just drawing a blank right now. But Adonis is really good, though. I mean, because I think they turned him babyface, which is odd choice to me.
Yeah,
but
he had a brief face run in WWE before they fired him.
That's when he made his pec stance.
His what?
He made his pec stance. Like, he would flex his titties and shit.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Oh, he made him dance, didn't he? Yeah.
No, they made his pec stance. He did his pec stance, and so he would like flex his titties, and they would,
I wonder if Cody could do that.
I mean, funny thing is, I could do. Cody better not show Vince McMahon, or that'll be his gimmick. Oh, the torn pec joke went over my head. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom Latimer defeated Scion.
Who?
Scion, he's a guy who wears like a silver mask. I think I know Scion's doing a thing with Austin Idol. Like, they're kind of, I don't know if they're feuding or what exactly, but I don't know. I don't get Scion. I don't get it. I'm not like really sure about him. Well, I don't know if y'all familiar with who I'm talking about, but Tom Latimer was he was in he was the wild cards with oh God, what's his name? Can't think of his name now. It's Tom Latimer and God, I can
barely hear you.
Huh?
Matt.
Well, yeah, I'm not here.
We can't hear you.
Why can't you hear me? My mic's on fine.
Huh?
My mic's on fine. Hold on. Y'all can't hear me?
No.
Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Well, I may just have to do it without the headset then. I don't know. I guess I have a short somewhere in my... Yeah, I might have a short in my headphones or something. But I hope this doesn't ruin the audio quality. But anyway, yeah, what I was saying was Tom Latimer. I'm trying to remember who he teamed up with at Wild Cards. I'm trying to, because it was like a random pairing. I'm trying to look down the card, trying to see if I can see who it was.
Partnered with Nick Aldis at one point.
Well, he was with Aldis, but he had another partner.
It was like Risky Business, something like that.
Yeah, it was Chris Adonis, wasn't it?
It was strictly business, but it
Chris
wasn't.
Adonis and him, Chris Adonis, Nick Aldis, and Camille.
Yeah,
but he had a partner though. I was trying to, because I mean,
Thomas Latimer.
Like it was Latimer and who else? Because it was Tom Latimer, and then who did he team with? Do you remember, Dino?
Oh yeah, there was another guy with him. Yeah, God
Almighty! Hold on, I got to Google it.
Give me a sec. NWO.
was it Tim White?
Huh?
No.
He used to whoop his ass. just saying, like, I just remember anytime I seen Tim White against him, he always got his ass whooped.
Hold on, let me.
Was it Doug Williams?
No, sec. Royce Isaacs.
Royce Isaacs.
Okay.
Yep, that was the guy.
I don't know who that is.
They were in TNA. Royce Isaacs, they were both in TNA. Wasn't Tom Latimer, wasn't he Bram? Or am I got it backwards?
I remember Tom, he was married to Charlotte before.
Yeah.
I can't remember who Royce Isaacs was.
He had a company over here that used to draw very, very low numbers to their events. And we're not talking 3 figures, we're talking low 2 figures, as if to a amount of people that used to come to these events. And oh my God, they did a 30-man Royal Rumble with 8 wrestlers.
Oh my God.
Damn. How the hell you
So
do
that
that?
meant everybody came out like twice.
3 times? 3 times, yeah.
Mick Foley would have to come out with a new gimmick. To just compensate.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But, he defeated Scion. NWA World Television Championship, Tyrus defeated Mims. I can't remember who Mims is. I've heard the name Mims, but I can't think of
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
Yeah, not that Mims. Not copyright Mims, but I'm trying to think. I can't remember, like, I don't know. I've heard the name, but I remember Tyrus as Fat Fuck. Can't think of his name. Brodus Clay.
Matthew Mims. Big, strong Mims, he's called.
I haven't heard him called that. I've just heard him called
I'm
Mims
just looking
in
at
the
his Twitter
NWA.
feed now. Oh, sorry, his Instagram. It's called Really-Mims.
Okay.
Yep.
That's something, all right. But anyway, we got the NWA Tag Team Championship. The Commonwealth Connection defeated La Rebellion and won the tag titles. That's Doug Williams and what's his name?
Harry Smith.
Ivy Smith.
Rich Bulldog's son.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty happy for them. That should be. I'm glad Doug Williams is still wrestling. He's great. I love Doug Williams.
He came out. He had a retirement tour 3 years ago, and he said, "That's it. I'm done with wrestling." And then, what do you know? He's coming back again. It was the biggest farce ever. Everybody said, "Oh, he's doing a retirement tour." It got everybody on his side saying, "The good luck in your future things. Everything's been great watching you wrestle." And then the British people went, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm back." What? We did all this thing for your retirement tour, and you're coming back? And he won't come back to British UK. I think he's been back once at Progress, but everywhere else he's been in America.
Mm-hmm. I always see Doug Williams wrestle William Regal if William Regal's able to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like
Don't
that
get me
would
wrong, he's a fantastic wrestler, but don't do a tour and then say, "Oh, a couple of years later, oh yeah, I miss it. I'm going to come back."
He's probably he's probably thinking like, well, I can do a retirement tour, make a lot more money. Probably how he thought of it, because you always make more on the retirement tour than you do on the regular tour. But let me see. NWA Women's Championship. Camille defeated Kylan King. I've never heard of Kylan King. I'm not even trying to pretend. Huh?
She's been on AEW. She teamed with Big Swole and Red Velvet.
Oh wow. That's why I don't know her.
I know she wrestled Lady Tapa at one point. I think that was like the only time I ever seen her win a match.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of Camille. I like Camille, and like other than that, I don't know.
She's wrestling next, right?
Yeah.
She's probably wrestling Deonna Purrazzo next.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be probably a good match.
Camille wrestled a couple times in AEW, but she didn't wrestle a whole lot. That was
You said Camille?
Yeah, Camille.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in AEW.
She wrestled a couple. She defended the title, I think, once or twice.
I remember Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb defending the NWA title, but I've never seen Camille there.
I think Camille was in like once or twice.
Camille's been there. Camille's been part of Strictly Business. She's always been the badass part of the leading group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was the heavy.
So Camille's good. I like her.
Yeah, she's like. I think she's got a bright future. I think she's like last time I think I watched her wrestle, which has been a while, she was like a tinge green, but other than that, like she's pretty good.
I think she's the NWA's version of China. I think they're trying to turn her into a China type character and make her this female badass that would beat old guys, and now they've made her into a women's champion, and they've done it that way to her. So
I'll be honest.
I'll
be honest. I like her. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off. What were you gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say real quick. I think I like Camille better than I do China. That's what I was gonna say. But what were we gonna say? I'm sorry. About the Camille.
No, I've just said that I think she's cracker, but I've been watching her now in NWA. I've been watching her, so she's great. I mean, that bit where she couldn't talk with Nick Aldis, and all of a sudden now she's a champion and things, and now she's a great babyface. But I prefer her as a heel.
Yeah, I like her as a silent killer. I kind of liked her doing that. But and then we get on to the main event. Matt Cardona had injured his bicep, I believe, and had to forfeit the NWA title to Billy Corgan. And then they had a fatal four-way match with Trevor Murdoch, Sam Shaw, Nick Aldis, and Tom Latimer. And Trevor Murdoch won the NWA World's title, making him a two-time NWA champion.
So Dexter
won.
So Dexter Lumis is in NWA now.
Yeah, Sam Shaw, yeah. He did a segment, too, on the pay-per-view, too. I think he choked someone out.
I think he had a match, didn't he?
No, he didn't have a match. He just choked someone out, like, on the pre-show, I think. Or in a segment.
That's another one.
How about Riley? Tell him this hell.
Do what?
Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah. He's the
NWA.
He's the fat bird. He's the NWA World Champion.
What, Trevor Murdoch?
Yeah, Trevor Murdoch is, yeah.
He trying to say Trevor Murdoch is Kyle O'Reilly.
A fat bird.
What?
Look at Trevor Murdoch and tell me he's not a fat bird. He's not Kyle O'Reilly if Kyle O'Reilly didn't stop eating.
Hold on.
Damn
it. Don't fucking ruin him like you ruined fucking Jay White for me.
Hey, that's not my fault.
That is your fault.
Ain't my fault that Jay White.
He does look like Brian Kendrick.
He does like somebody tried to draw Brian Kendrick from memory and they fucked up.
Hold on.
They were drunk as shit trying to draw him. And it was just like
he's doing the Snitsky now. He says it's not my fault.
Oh shit! not the Snitsky.
Snitsky punting baby.
Yo, that's
God dang it, James! God dang it!
Wait.
You know what you did. Hold on. Fucking did this to me.
Oh, what's this?
You see it? So there's Kyle O'Reilly. And there's Trevor Murdoch. I hate you, James. I hate you. Oh my God. I'm so heated right now.
I told you. Hold on. Oh shit. Hold on. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Oh, so Kyle O'Reilly is what happens when you go to a certain place and you have a bucket of chicken strapped to your back and then you come back and Trevor Murdoch.
Oh my God.
As Jim Cornette would say on NWA TV about 3 years ago.
Well, to be fair, in that dark place, you're a two-time world champion, so it's not too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's gotten the run that he's gotten in NWA, to be honest with you.
He got hot.
Yeah.
Well, he has been in the wrestling business for a while, because you got to remember he was there during that whole Ruthless Aggression era of WWE.
He was trained by Harley Race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got hot there. I was like, because I think Dino said you were watching for a little while. He got hot there for a while. And, you know.
He does remind me of Dick
Gavison Kid, was it?
Do what?
Yeah.
With the tag team?
Yeah.
Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade.
Yeah, Lance Cade, sorry, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think they had a tag team name, but they were just basically rednecks.
I don't think they had a tag team name, but I think
it was Cade Murdoch. Yeah,
Murdoch, weren't it? That was it. Yeah.
Murdoch was like the redneck, and Lance Cade was like the cowboy.
Mm-hmm. They were a good tag team. They were like low key, like one of my favorites.
Yeah,
they had good chemistry, I thought. But let's move on to the New Japan Dominion results real quick. United Empire defeated Hiroshi Tenzin, Master Wato, and Ryusuke Taguchi. I'm bad with these Japanese names, I swear. But yeah, that was I think United Empire. That was TJP, Aaron Hiner, Francisco Akira. I think that's how you pronounce that. So yeah, so I don't think much to say about that. It was just an opener. Bullet Club defeated Los Cinco de Ganables de Japón with Bushi, Himuru Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito. Man, doing my boy Tetsuya Naito dirty. And then I think Bullet Club had Tajiri Ishimori, Ace Austin, and El Phantasmo. So, yeah. I want Naito to do more and do better. I miss Naito. But then Toru Yano. Do what?
I share my birthday with El Phasmedes or whatever you call him.
Yeah.
He appeared at my local place on his birthday, and I went, it's mine as well. So they got both of us in the ring and had a birthday cake, and then he shoved it straight in my face.
Oh, God.
I went, you had to be a heel, didn't you? I went, yeah, but look what happened. He said, I got the crowd going mental. So I went, yep, that's true.
That'll work. I think that's Bobby in the chat. Hey, guys, Steelers fan 1984. What's going on?
Yeah, that's Bobby.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Then we got Toru Yano defeating Doc Gallows, which did not see that coming. But and then we got the Never Openweight 6-man tag championship. Bullet Club defeated Suzuki Gun, which I think that was Evil Show and Yujiro Takahashi. And then I don't even know if I'm going to try to pronounce that one. But Zack Sabre Jr. and El Desperado. Yoshinobu Karimatsu? I'm so bad with Japanese names. I'm bad with this. So bad at this. And then you got the IWGP Tag Team Championships. United Empire defeated Bullet Club, Great O'Connor, and Jeff Cobb against Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale. There's some names I can pronounce. So I'm wondering if Great O'Connor and Jeff Cobb are going to do anything at the pay-per-view. But I don't know. I'm a big Great O'Connor fan. Like I said, his shenanigans in Vegas won me over. But then you got the AEW Interim Championship match. Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Hiroki Goto. I don't think I think everyone saw that coming. And then you got, let me see, who was it? What was this? Provisional KOPW 2022 Championship. Shingo Takashi defeated Taichi. I didn't even know that was on the card. I don't think we talked about that. But and then you had the Never Openweight Championship. Carl Anderson defeating Tama Tonga to become the new Openweight Champion, which good on Carl Anderson. And then Juice Robinson actually had to vacate the United States title. I don't know if it was a no-show or what happened there, but
I think he got injured.
Or yeah, he might have gotten injured, but so the triple threat became a singles match between Will Ospreay and Sonata, and Will Ospreay won the United States Championship, which I was surprised on AEW Dynamite. He did not come out with that belt. He came out with the Rev Pro?
Yeah, British Heavyweight.
Yeah, it was a Rev Pro Heavyweight Championship. So
yeah,
I was surprised he didn't come out with both belts. But anyway, then the main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Jay White defeated Kazuchika Okada.
I'm shocked.
Which I mean, from what I heard, Okada wasn't going to be able to make the event, so that's why he dropped it to Jay White. That's what I've heard, because I think Okada's wife's pregnant and wanted to stay at home for as long as he could before the G1. So that's what I've heard. So that's what I've been reading everywhere. But Bobby says he's a big Jay White fan. So that's the pay-per-views now. So let's get into some news and stuff that's going on. What? the crazy
it's
news.
Been a busy day, hasn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit busy. But
Been some wild shit going on.
Yeah, we'll start with Randy.
Can we just give ourselves a pat on the back, please? Because what did we call for Dynamite? We said that Christian Cage would turn heel, and then the Luchasaurus would lose the belts. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We deserve that.
Our checks will be in the mail soon. Copium. Checks will be in the mail soon, Tony. You watching? Oh man. Or at least you're gonna watch the on demand, whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat, Tony. But yeah, real quick, Randy Orton requires surgery for his back, and he's gonna be out for the rest of the year. From what I've read, may have to require surgery, which really sucks because that messes up their SummerSlam plans. Because from what I've heard, they were going to do Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. So
yeah,
that messes that up. So now I don't know.
I sort of figured he was going to be out for a lengthy period of time when Matt Riddle had said that Randy Orton was injured and could barely walk. I'm like, that must have been like some very, serious injury. If you can't walk and you can't feel, anything in your extremities and stuff. So, speedy recovery to Randy Orton and everything. I hope he gets back soon. I hope he's able to come back and everything. But, it is devastating that, he's going to have to, go down with injury and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I can relate on a much smaller scale because I've got like numbness down the sides of my legs. I couldn't imagine not feeling anything in any of your extremities. Like that's got to be a bad back injury. I mean, because Bobby's talking about feeling bad for Orton. Yeah, but like it sucks. Like I hate it for Orton because I love Orton. Orton's one of my favorites, and this is one of the first injuries he's had in a while now. Like he's like, I mean, I know like
injury though, from he's had a history of it.
Yeah, he had the shoulder injuries and the collarbone injuries.
Maybe like all this stuff is compiling up.
Yeah,
and could be worse or whatever.
Yeah, his injuries though in the past were covered up by the fact he was failing the drugs test, and if he'd have come out, he'd have failed the wellness policy again. It'd have been released, so they covered it up with saying he was injured. Because Orton has failed so many drug tests in the past that he was on his last warning. And then he said, oh yeah, he's injured, and they covered it up that way so they didn't have to like show to everybody else, oh yeah, he's injured. So
yeah, I remember that.
Oh. I'm not laughing at you, Dino, what you're saying. I was just sitting there laughing at Chet because he's got this big ass bottle. He's like a big baby too.
Oh, I just like a little bit of water.
No, he's like a big old baby with a bottle.
Hey, I got a hand grip on this Jones too. I got a hand grip on here. I can just turn up. But I feel bad for Orton. I hope he has a speedy recovery and he gets back in there because like I said, I like watching Orton wrestle. He's one of the best in the world. But and then Sasha Banks now is so the rumor midnight last night. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm tired of seeing all the crazy shit that's happened yesterday. I see a dude tweet, Sasha Banks is going to be released. Or expect Sasha Banks to have her release. And Sean Ross Sapp even reported saying, he has good sources, but I can't confirm anything yet. So nothing's been confirmed as of this point yet. Now also, too, I've also read where Sasha Banks' attorneys are trying to push for that release. So as of 7:40 Eastern Time in the United States, I have not heard anything. So I can check Twitter real fast, but as of right this,
it's nothing else. All the latest is about our lawyers. Our lawyers are involved. That's it. But there's no way back for her now. There's no way. There's no way you won't see Sasha Banks in the wrestling in a WWE ring again. No way.
No.
It's too
I
much trouble. It's too much trouble.
I don't think she's been released just yet, and her lawyers are still fighting for a release. So,
yeah, I don't see it either. Like the thing is, what WWE's going to do is they're going to like hold on to her as long as they can and try to like diminish her main name value, and she's still going to have to abide by that 90-day clause because she breached.
Yeah.
She breached her contract at the end of the day, whether right or wrong. She breached.
They're gonna do her like they do they're doing Mustafa Ali right now. If she does come back to TV,
I don't think she'll be back though.
No, I don't think she's gonna be back. If she does, they're gonna make an example out of her, sort of like what he's talking about with Mustafa Ali. But for my belief is, I don't think she's got the heart to wrestle anymore. Like, I think she's ready to move on to Hollywood. Like, because she's like really. She don't seem like she wants. She like from everything that I've heard from Sasha Banks with this whole situation, it's like she don't care about wrestling no more. You know, she's ready to move on, and I think if because I think the 90-day non-compete clause prevents her from wrestling for other companies. But I think she's like trying to go into movies and stuff. So I don't think that will prevent her from doing that and whatnot. So I'm thinking that's the reason why she probably wants to get out of the contract.
Yeah.
If she is fighting to get out of it.
Yeah. And how many times has this happened now with her? She's walked out so many times now. It's just like, right, you don't get nothing now. You don't get no merchandise money. You don't get no appearance fee. You've walked out. Let's see what you can do. Go, bye, go. Let's see how you do now. Because she'll have such a bad reputation now because who's going to take her on? Would you take on a wrestler that the first time that she's not happy with what she's doing, she'll just walk out? No.
I sure shit wouldn't put a belt on her. I mean, here's the thing with me. If I'm a wrestling promoter, this is me personally, and I might not be the smartest person in the world, I would book Sasha, but I would not put a championship on her. I wouldn't make her the face of my company.
I wouldn't book her because who's guaranteed that she'll show up?
I mean, I can see where you're coming from on that sense, but I mean, if nothing else, like if you get Sasha Banks, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of Sasha Banks stands on Twitter. A lot. Like, they obsess over this woman. Like, the amount of fanfare for Sasha is absolutely insane.
They drink her bathwater. He told them to.
Yes. It's that bad.
What?
They would drink her bathwater.
I said Banks stands that Shaq keep talking about. I said they probably drink her bathwater.
Yep.
Told them to.
Oh God, yeah.
They would drink her dirty bathwater.
If she does an OnlyFans account, wow, she'll never have to work another day in her life.
Nope.
All over that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
my boy Ryan will be all over that.
Oh yeah, old Ryan. Oh Ryan.
Hey, Tony Storms has done
but
more.
That dude
She
does.
said she made enough money for anybody. The amount of money she made, wow.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
go ahead. I think she is going to Hollywood. I don't think she has a desire to go back into professional wrestling. Because, like, as we speak, right, she was just on Kevin Hart's Cold as Balls show, and they were talking about, like, her being on The Mandalorian and, being Snoop Dogg's cousin, and very little talk about wrestling. So,
look who's left now. Like the four horsewomen of NXT now. You've only got Becky Lynch that's wrestling at the moment. Bayley's still out.
Well, they wrote Charlotte off to take some time off.
Yeah,
and
Charlotte's off.
Bayley can't catch a break to save her life. Poor Bayley. And, Becky's killing it.
Yeah.
Like Becky, is of all the four horsewomen, who would have thought probably Becky would be the most over, right behind Charlotte and Bayley. Yeah. And I mean, Sasha's over in her own right too, though. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to.
Becky is over, but Charlotte's pushed harder than Becky.
Yeah, Charlotte's pushed harder. Like Charlotte's got the raw genetic talent and athleticism with the bloodline of the Flairs.
Yeah.
And, bullshit.
Huh?
I call it bullshit.
Look at her legacy. If Sasha does go, right, The legacy, the Bailey Sasha Iron Woman match on NXT. What a match that was.
Yeah.
That she in NXT, she had some of the greatest matches ever for female wrestling. Her and Bailey did change everything. They main events in NXTs, which had never been done before. So Sasha in NXT was fantastic. Sasha on the main roster, every time they put a belt on her, they took it off for a couple of weeks later.
She never got hot.
I think that was her complaint the first time I think that she was walking out, was that she only got like, whenever they put the titles on her, that she only got like a 2-week run with the title. And like whenever Charlotte got it, it would be like a month long or, you know, multiple months and stuff. So like I can see the complaint there, because like when I actually liked the rivalry between Sasha and Charlotte, because it was like, the way I saw it was like, you got two wrestlers who are so good that, you know, they can take the belt off of one another. Some people like to call it hot potatoing, but I didn't see it like that. I'm like, hell, anytime these two girls hooked up, you never knew who was going to come out the winner. But then it did get predictable where Sasha would win it, and then she would lose it. She would win on Raw and lose it on a pay-per-view. And Charlotte would retain on a pay-per-view or whatever. Yeah. And it became predictable. But when they first started out, I actually loved the rivalry and stuff, the back and forth between the two.
I love the Bailey and Sasha things, even when they were a tag team or when they were versing each other in the ring. Bailey and Sasha just was magical. It was just, the whole thing was magical between them two. When Bailey turned heel that first time to join Sasha, everybody just lost their minds and went, what the hell? Bailey's gone? And then Bailey did the full repackage and the whole lot about her. So it'd be interesting what Bailey's got to say about all this, because if anyone's close to Sasha, it's Bailey. So
yeah, I feel like them two are probably closer friends than the other 4 horsewomen and stuff. I think they were just there to, I guess, complete the group or whatever.
Well, I think there was some professional jealousy there for a while, because, you know, once you get like that hot, you know there's going to be jealousy, because like Charlotte, like I said, got pushed fucking crazy. And, you know, you have Becky was floundering there for a while before she finally got the man gimmick. And Bailey was floundering
over.
Like Sasha was kind of, you know, she kind of hung in there, and then worst part is I can't really remember her run that well, but she eventually got up there, and Bailey had the hardest time with her gimmick. Like, they did not know how to book Bailey. Like, well, I don't know if y'all remember this match. It was a Singapore cane match against Alexa Bliss, and Bailey didn't want to use the Singapore cane. That shit was the dumbest shit.
That's what, that whole rivalry with Alexa Bliss is what doomed Bailey, because they was saying something along the lines that Bailey couldn't get hardcore or something like that.
She was too nice.
She was too nice, and I think Alexa Bliss just like squashed her in those matches and stuff. Yeah. So like that sort of hurt her career, you know, her run on the main roster a little bit. And I think I can say this a little bit. I think New Day sort of helped Bailey out a little bit, because when she first came to the roster, they was all with the, you know, the whole, hey, we want some Bailey.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. And I think it helped her out. And then when she linked up, I think was able to link up with Sasha Banks, and they started teaming as baby faces and then eventually as heels, I think that sort of helped her out a lot too. Because I don't think that whole, you know, the hugger gimmick was going to work too well on the main roster.
I think it worked well for Bailey in NXT, because it was never been seen. It was all them stupid bloody things and everything like that. And the kids loved her, and the merchandise went through the roof when it was like, and you had all the little girls dressing up as Bailey and want to be Bailey. And then
you got one fan that actually made a name for herself off the whole rivalry between Bailey and Sasha Banks, and that was Izzy, who's like, she's like ready to be a wrestler and a wrestling journalist now.
Yeah, and then when she came over to the UK, I'm bigging up the UK here. When we had the first NXT UK one over here, and they had it, and then we started the famous "Hey, hey Bailey, ooh, ah," started that chant. Even Bailey was shocked. Like 12,500 people just went bang. There we go. We're into this crazy thing. So Bailey was always been, but I've got a question for you. What's going to happen to Naomi now? Because she's lost her partner in crime. How is WWE going to treat Naomi?
Mm-hmm.
She probably gonna get really punished. I feel like they're gonna bring her back, and I think she's gonna
get buried
big time when she comes back. Like, you ain't gonna see her win no championship.
Yeah, they're gonna make her a funkadactyl again.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's gonna have a very long losing streak, like sort of like MVP or Brian Myers, Kurt Hawkins.
I mean, demote her to NXT. No, that's the wrong word to say. Don't demote her to NXT because that's where Apollo Crews has just shown up again. Mm-hmm. Put her back in NXT. Let her work with all them girls there and see what she can do there. But squash her in NXT and say, right, what happened to Triple H with the Madison Square Garden thing? This is going to happen to you for 6 months. You're going to eat plates and plates and plates, and you're going to learn a taste of it. And then after this, there will be something at the end of the tunnel. But they will bury her. They will absolutely bury her. No merchandise, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna bury the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But she's got an Uso as her husband, so does she need money? No.
And that same Uso has had like a lot of DUI issues, which we're gonna get into DUI issues later, but in the show, but like that blows my mind. Like as many chances as Jimmy got, and I don't know.
But it's all in who you know and not what you know.
Exactly.
Like,
Jimmy Uso. Go on, sorry. Go on, man. Sorry, I'm jumping in. Don't apologise. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, because I was just going to say, if Jimmy Uso didn't have Roman Reigns in his corner, would he still be with the company?
If he wasn't Samoan, would he be in the same position?
No, he wouldn't. He'd be gone like a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if he wasn't if he had that NY bloodline, he'd be out the door.
Yeah, he'd definitely be gone. Because I guarantee you Roman took up for him. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, when he came back, he was immediately put with Roman Reigns. So I'm thinking, like, maybe Roman Reigns got to look after him. And I think this might be his last chance if he does get in even more trouble. Because I think before they had him, Naomi, like, with him, not on screen a lot, but I think it was on screen for a little bit. But I think she was responsible for him, I guess, getting to and from shows. And it happened, and now it's like you're with the biggest person in the company right now, so you gotta be on your P's and Q's and stuff, and do good. So this might be his last chance, if anything, or hell, they might sweep it under the rug. It just like goes back to like Jimmy Snuka. Hell, he killed his damn girlfriend back in the '80s, and hell, he got away with it.
God, don't get me started on Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah. Jesus well, apart from when he was on the dark side of the ring, because I remember that episode. Yeah. Yeah, me.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. From one potential release to one coming up soon. Well, it's not released, but going to the end of her contract. Paige is going to be departing WWE soon. I think it was, what was the date? July 7th, her last day? If I'm not mistaken.
What's that?
July 7th was going to be Paige's last day in WWE.
Yeah, July 7th.
Yeah. So, I mean,
bless her.
So what kind of speculation do you think that Paige is going to be? Like, is she going to be back in wrestling? Is she going to be doing whatever? Like,
I watched her stream on Saturday night when it was announced, and first thing I realized was how much money she made in an hour with so many people subscribing to her channel. That was a shocker. But she was open. She was completely honest in what she said. She loves everybody. You get the feeling from what she was saying that this is not a mutual separation between her and the WWE. That's been noted on websites all over the place now, that this is not a mutual termination of contract. I think it's got to a stage where she wants to wrestle and WWE won't let her. And it don't matter how many doctors she puts over and says, look, these doctors will pass me. They'll do everything. I'll pass every test you've got. The WWE do not want another neck injury in the ring. They don't want it, no matter what happens. No matter who it is, they will not have another neck injury.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy because yeah, like, you see what happened with Bryan Danielson and then Edge I've heard recently like Corey Graves was like been cleared to return back to the ring, but like he don't.
Yeah,
want
but he
to.
was concussion. Yeah, he was concussions though, weren't it? So he's wearing his neck. But I see, yeah, but I think that whatever she does next, she's making that much money on Twitch. She doesn't need to wrestle. She's making good 6 figures on Twitch.
Yeah.
So, what she said it herself. This is my job. She said it within the first 20 minutes. This is my job now. This is my only income. But what an income she's got! She goes on that. She does that 3 times a week. Oh my god!
I know she was one of the personalities from WWE that when they did that third party ban, she was one of the key people who was like fighting for like WWE to allow the wrestlers to keep doing that and stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if how she was able to work that out where she would keep being able to do Twitch and whatnot.
She had to remove all traces of WWE, her name, and a page. I think it was WWE, the real page on Twitch. Yeah. She had to remove everything from WWE. And she says, right, fine, I'll just call myself my real name. Sarah Knight. I did that. I'll put that on. No WWE mention at all. And that's what she's done. So they wanted something like 50-60% of her income.
Hell no.
WWE off of Twitch because they were using the name like AJ Styles. AJ Styles closed his, and they went after Xavier Woods and all the other guys that was doing Twitch. But I think that it was one of the reasons Adam Cole left. It was one of the reasons he left and all that. And you've got all these. I mean, Johnny Gargano. He's on there every 2 seconds now. Go Bennett. But the amount of people now that are making thousands and thousands just by playing video games. It's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. By fact, they was about to shoot themselves in the foot with Xavier Woods because Xavier Woods does WWE's like whole little gaming thing and stuff.
Yeah, up, down, down.
And man, like they bought his show up, down.
Yeah.
So he started getting like WWE producing it and stuff. So they would have shot themselves in the foot had they done that. Had they tried to get him to cut down his stuff.
Who was the first person to use the internet to his advantage, and he got millions
Zack
of
Ryder.
subscribers? Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
He got over. He got over with no help from WWE. He did it off his own. It was amazing what he did.
The Z True Long Island story. Yeah. I remember when those came out. Those were fantastic.
Woo, woo, woo.
But Bobby in chat said,
whatever happened to the Big O? Whatever happened to him? I saw him on Impact as a tryout, but I've never heard of the Big O since.
Me either. but Bobby said that where do y'all see Paige going? I think she will do good in like Impact or maybe New Japan. I see her going to either New Japan, Impact, or maybe NWA. Well, one, I don't see her going to New Japan because there's not a lot of female talent in New Japan. If she goes, it's going to be Stardom, but she's not going to go there because I think the high impact style is going to be bad on her neck. I think she could go back to the UK and make a lot of money. I think she could go to AEW, make a lot of money, and I think
what's the name of that? What's the name of that company that AJ Lee's involved with? Is it WoW?
WoW? Yeah, she can make a lot of money doing WoW. Like, she would put that place on the map, I think.
And AJ Lee's one of her best friends. Look what they used to have together. So AJ Lee and Paige. That's an interesting thing.
Paige would be what Tessa Blanchard should have been for the brand. Like, as in, like, name value and making it, like, up there. Paige would far exceed Tessa Blanchard.
Speaking of which, Tessa Blanchard just got released from WoW. And one of the reasons why supposedly she got released was because she butted head with AJ Lee. I guess about the booking decisions within WoW and stuff.
Gee, who would have fucking guessed?
So what?
Who would have fucking guessed?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tessa Blanchard's toxic? The stream had frozen in, I would have shit. But anyway.
She had the world at her feet 2 years ago, didn't she? She had everyone going for her.
She's what Charlotte Flair would be if Charlotte Flair got very egotistical.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to see Tessa Blanchard wrestle Charlotte because I think that was like a dream match I had.
Yeah, it was, but then like she started, all the allegations came out, and I'm like, no, I don't really care.
She had to be a racist
Yeah, all those
bitch.
bullying allegations and her using the N word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, pass.
yeah. I don't know. I've got nothing. I got no time for her now.
I mean, wherever Paige goes, she won't she doesn't have to use Paige. She's a movie star. She's had a film made about her life.
Yep.
That's number one. Right? And it didn't happen. I didn't have anybody playing her. It had bloody Florence thingy from Marvel films. She was playing her.
Yeah.
Hell, my friend who's a casual fan, or he barely watches wrestling, he knows who Paige is. Paige is a big name.
Yeah.
My wife never watches wrestling in her life, and she watched Fighting with My Family because it was a British film, and Nick Frost was in it, who played her dad, who was one of these that did all these big films and everything like that. And she said, that is a good film. And I went, but you don't like wrestling. She goes, yeah, but it's a great film. And I'm like,
it's a good story.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's wherever she goes, she'll still be all right no matter. But she's just got to make sure that I think wherever she turns up, the things in the contract will say, I'm having no wrestling moves done on my neck.
So
this is got to be put in here.
So here's the speculation here, because Paige is playing nice right now. She says she has no bad feelings. But I wonder when July 8th hits, I wonder if she's going to, like, bury, like, who's going on where. I don't think she's that type. But, I mean, what if she, just like, look, here's the shit that's going on. I played nice so I get out of my, like, until they try to send me or anything. And try to bury me.
If she does, it'll be in that Sessions with Rennie Parquet, and she'll do it on that.
Sessions?
The Sessions, not the Oral Sessions. She's
changing
the name now. The Sessions.
Did she change it to the Sessions?
But I think if Paige does shoot out, look at all the stuff that's happened to her. She's kept quiet about the stuff with Del Rio. She kept quiet about the sex tape with Xavier Woods. She's got all this stuff that she's got to come out with and say, look, this is what happened with WWE. And everything, all that stuff on the network, when they told her, when you see at the moment that she's been told, she goes in there thinking she's going to wrestle in the Royal Rumble, and then she gets told that she can never wrestle again. I don't care who you are. That's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever watched in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she'll be fine. I mean, if it all comes out, she'll do a shoot interview, and they'll just tell everything. And good on her if she does it. I can't wait for her.
She'll make a lot of money on that shoot interview. She'll make a lot of money.
She'll make a lot of money no matter where she goes. As long as she doesn't make any more films.
Never mind, I'm not gonna go there.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
She probably I'm about to say she'll make more money off of that shoot interview than that the Pornhub shoot interview she did.
What? Oh, what?
The Pornhub interview.
The one with well, I think are you referring to the sex tape with
her leak?
Oh,
you're talking about the one with Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox?
The famous picture of her with the belt round her with her naked body, and she had is it the Divas belt she had round her? Oh, she had the NXT belt.
I thought it was I wasn't aware of. I'm aware of that stuff right now. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
They had a work shoot all over that belt.
Yeah,
a work shoot all over that belt.
Oh.
Anyway, I was gonna say, speaking of work shoot, or I don't know if there's any part of work in this, but apparently MVP and Jericho had an incident where this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, what did Jericho say? He don't fight jobbers?
Yeah, he doesn't fight jobbers.
MVP would whoop Jericho's ass.
But I heard the argument was over politics, though. I don't know if you guys recall, but Jericho was a supporter of Donald Trump.
Of course he was.
I guess during the last election, but, to each his own or whatever. Mm-hmm. But supposedly, I guess they had a argument about politics, and I guess it carried over to them wanting to fight each other.
Yeah.
So, from my understanding of what happened, like I said, it was over politics. From what I understand, it was politics, because we all know Jericho paid money for Trump, and also his wife was up there for January 6th. Apparently, from what I heard, his wife was at.
Yeah, I heard that too.
But I think it was something of, I think the Hardy, because They were in Texas. This is when AEW was in Texas, I believe.
I think it was like a year ago when all this happened too.
Yeah, it was like I think it was because it was Matt Hardy because I think MVP and Matt still tight, and I guess Jericho came up and I think MVP pulled up on Jericho like what's up, what's good, like what's good, all that all that shit you was saying on Twitter, and that's when Jericho became a little bitch and kind of walked off like I don't fight jobbers.
I guess MVP gonna do a diss track against Jericho now.
Like here's the thing. I think MVP's been to prison, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like MVP would whoop Jericho's ass. Like no joke.
Some of the bigger, badder guys in wrestling like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
Goldberg a bitch.
Goldberg is a bitch. I can beat Goldberg.
Jericho's just
all you gotta do is get that front face lock on him. That's it. And you're gonna tire him out. He's not gonna know what to do.
Jericho didn't really do anything against Goldberg. He just put him in a
front face lock.
Yeah. Jericho just wants to stay relevant. That's it. It's another week. It's got to be about Jericho. It doesn't matter whatever happens. Jericho's got to be in the spotlight no matter what he does. He's still got to try and be in the spotlight.
I like Chris Jericho. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. But at the same time, like he wasn't going. Like I said, he tried to get in Brock's face. He wouldn't go. Ain't no way. Brock would have laid his ass out.
Brock would have ripped his head off and shit down his throat.
Didn't he fight somebody else too? I can't recall who.
Bob Holly.
Shane Helms.
Shane Helms, yeah.
Wow.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. No, best thing about the hurricane, and I don't know if you guys remember it was when he had Rosie. And Rosie had a T-shirt on that said "Superhero in Training," and it was all down there. And it said "Superhero in Training." And what it did is the first word of each of the things said "shit." It said "shit" live on TV, and you could look at it going, "He's got a T-shirt that says shit." And the next week it was wrote in a different way. But the first week you saw it, it said "shit" on his T-shirt, and then was going "Superhero in Training." Went, what was that? And I asked Hurricane, he was over here doing it, and I asked him about it, and he says, whose idea was the T-shirt, the shit T-shirt? He went, oh, that was all Rosie. He said, I wonder how long they'll get away with it before they'll notice. And he got away with it for about 2 months. And they just got this Superhero in Training T-shirt. Legend. If you can get it on the network, watch it. It's funny as hell.
You know what that reminds me of? How RVD and Rey Mysterio got away with calling their move the 420 leg drop. Have you heard that story? Like Vince McMahon's like, 420 is a pot reference, and then RVD's like, no, 4 legs, 20 toes, 420 leg drop.
It's like that with Cena, the 5-knuckle shuffle.
How did they get away with that?
He's got away with that for 20 years. I mean, first I was like, every time, here we go, John Cena's doing the 5-knuckle shuffle. It's a PG show, and you've got your name down doing a 5-knuckle shuffle. Oh, come on, Vince. Come on. Surely somebody should have told him.
That's got to be the biggest rib on Vince McMahon.
The way Michael Cole did commentary. It's the 5-knuckle shuffle. Like, it wasn't really nothing. Like, oh, well. But, hell, the way Michael Cole did commentary, it made people hate that. Damn,
well, let's be right. Yeah, well, Michael Cole, he's not the brightest of guy. If he doesn't notice his bloody person next to him having a heart attack, and he don't even notice that, so, sorry, Michael Cole, but nah.
Well, I mean, when the dude starts snoring, I don't know what I would do. He thought Jerry was playing asleep.
Yeah, why are you snoring for?
Playing asleep?
Yeah, he was. You could hear Jerry. I remember this because he said he thought Jerry Lawler was like fucking with him and acting like he was asleep. But it was oh god, what is it they call that whenever you're fighting for your life like that? It's like a death tremble or I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But you're literally like fighting for your life for air at that point. And yeah, I honestly though, I'm going to say this. I couldn't imagine trying to do commentary, trying to keep the show going while a man's literally while a man you're friends with, very good friends with, is having a heart attack next to you. I couldn't imagine ever doing that.
No.
So I have to give Cole props for that. Like, and him being able to like finish the show.
Oh yeah, but then remember when he said it? He said, "We're gonna, and out of respect for what's happening at the moment,
Yeah, we're
gonna
gonna do no
for the rest
commentary.
of the show."
Yeah, like he was able to get through like that part, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here so I can go make sure Jerry Lawler's all right." But I remember that being a scary thing. That was because I remember being confused. I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" Because you see everybody's looking over at the commentary table too in the crowd, and the crowd was just like dead after that. I'm like, "Man, you about might as well just cancel the rest of the show for that point."
He's still good, but there's still knowing Jim Ross though.
Oh yeah, Jim Ross is the ultimate professional. He literally watched a man die and had to call that. Owen Hart's dead, and you're live in 5, 4, 3. You fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck Kevin Dunn. We're gonna get to his Bucky Beaver ass too. But so now that leads us to the Vince McMahon hush money investigation. Literally been the total talk for the past 2 days and what I've been looking into the whole time. So apparently, as I say, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if anybody's kept up with this as much as I have, but apparently he had to pay a woman $3 million who left the company to keep quiet about her doing sexual favors for Vince McMahon, and as well as passing her to John Laurinaitis like a toy. And I think the woman was getting paid before then $100,000 a year, and ended up upping her pay to $2,000. I think when she started. I don't know if this is when she started doing the sexual favors. I could be in left field when it comes to that.
Let me save your breath real quick.
Yeah.
This is wealthy people shit. This is rich people shit. They do this shit all the time. You see what happened with Epstein. You know, all these rich people do the same shit. Like, you can see the writing on the wall. Like, I wanted this shit for the longest time that Vince McMahon had some other woman on the side, because I never saw, like in the last decade or so, do you recall seeing Vince McMahon, other than Linda McMahon's campaign, do you ever recall seeing them out together, like for a date night?
No.
Or any other type of appearance. So it's like, even when Vince McMahon was there to support Linda McMahon for her election. So what? But anyway, even when Vince McMahon was there for Linda's campaign and stuff, you never. Oh, I guess James is out. You never saw, like, he didn't seem too enthused about being there, and like you never, like any of her public appearances, you never saw him there. So it's like the writing was on the wall there. Hell, I can see that now with Triple H and Stephanie. I don't see them together other than that WWE charity stuff that they do, like Make a Wish or whatever. So I'm like, I see Triple H more than anything. What were you about to say?
I was going to say real quick.
Go on, sorry, fella, go on.
I was like, real quick, because Bobby said this happened in like the 80s. Why is it being brought up now? I want to say this happened in the 80s. I think it didn't, because John Laurinaitis wasn't in power until 2001. Like,
yeah, so it's happened in the last few years. It's like 2020.
This is recently,
2019, 2020.
Yeah, this is very recently, and it's disgusting. Like, it's disgusting how, you know, that.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it's bad conduct. It's bad conduct.
Right. How old is John Laurinaitis? He's in his 50s, 60s, right? He's married to the Bella Twins' mum, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
And if he's been caught doing this with a woman, that's their marriage over, and the Bella Twins will never have anything to do with him again.
Yeah.
So every cloud was a silver lining. And then you've got Vince.
I was gonna say, I think John Laurinaitis' marriage to the Bella Twins' mom, I think that was solely for that show that they had with the WWE. What was it? Keeping Up with the Bellas.
Yeah, Keeping Up with the Bellas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was more or less like a business move to put him on there, whatever. But hell, just like I was saying, he's an executive within WWE, so it wouldn't surprise me. Like, you see everything that's coming out right now, all of Vince McMahon's inner circle is being brought up in this whole scandal and stuff.
So this woman's in her 40s, and she's decided to go with a guy that's in his late 50s, early 60s, and Vince McMahon in his 70s, and doing sexual favors on these two guys.
It's sickening.
What the hell is going through her mind to wanting to do that in the first place?
She's got 200,000 reasons.
Yeah, and B, how the hell is Vince McMahon doing it at his age?
Viagra.
Like, I mean,
the bleachers.
But
and when are we? And now we had the Hulk Hogan sex tape with Bubba Love Sponge about 10 years ago. You know we'll have the Vince McMahon.
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to see Vince McMahon going down on a woman and being like, "Oh baby, I'm your genetic jackhammer." God damn it!
Look at these grapefruits. Come on.
Now I wouldn't be surprised if Stephanie McMahon got her a side piece because, like,
I think this is going to do with something with Stephanie leaving. I think this has got something to do with Steph saying, "Look, I don't want nothing to do with him. Like I'm gone. I'm out."
I think everything that's happened in the past few months has something to do with some kind of something another going on. Like, because there's more shit to this. There's definitely more shit to this that we do not know. There's got to be, because, like, the person that went to them, for one, I talked about this off stream with y'all, but I said that this wasn't someone who was looking for clout in the wrestling business. Or you said that. I said that there's no way there's a wrestling personality, because normally the wrestling people go to Sean Ross Sapp, Dave Meltzer. They went to the fucking New York Times.
Hold on. I got to disagree with you on that one. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If you, as an employee or a wrestler, is fucking your boss, and they're paying you all this money and stuff, and your boss is worth millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars, I'm not going to go to no damn dirt sheet with this damn information. Even if I am a wrestling personality, I'm not going to go to a dirt sheet. TMZ, New York Post, the Huff Post, or any of these other big-time publications that have publicated, whistleblowers on something wrong, they pay millions of dollars for that. So I'm going to go where the money is.
Right.
That's the non-wrestler in us, though, because
I'm saying, even if I'm a wrestler, I would do that too, because wrestlers are all about getting paid too.
Well, I agree with that too, but like a wrestler would have to be really pissed off to go that route, because wrestlers at the end of the day are going to do what they can to protect the business. That's just, they're stubborn in that way. But if they want to get paid, yes, I agree with you on that front. If they want to get paid, but wrestlers are weird about who they go through for their contacts. Like, just
tell me this.
Huh?
Did you know? Tell me this. Before the scandal came out about Donald Trump, did you know who Stormy Daniels was?
I don't know who Stormy Daniels is anyway.
She's a porn star. She's a porn star, but when she came out, she became bigger than what she was.
Yeah.
So, I can want to get not a push in wrestling. They might be like, "Hey, fuck wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I can become a bigger personality by going and exposing this right here." Because this is a big deal right here. Like, major outlets
Well, the thing is, how many wrestlers have actually gone that route, though? Not many. Like, they would always go to the dirt sheets.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, like, it's not the smart thing to do, or the, you do want to go to the bigger outlets for that. You do want to do that. But a lot of the wrestlers, they go to the sheets. They go to the dirt sheets, and they make their money that way. Well, because I think in a way, in their own mind, if they go to the sheets, they're still protecting the business. Like, instead of exposing it on the grand stage.
This is from the Wall Street Journal, for God's sake.
Yes.
This isn't a dirt sheet. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, this is massive.
There's been an update. It says here, it's reported that his own company board is investigating a $3 million payment said to be made by him to a former employee of the company in return for him signing a non-disclosure agreement. WWE has stressed that the alleged relationship between McMahon and an unnamed employee was consensual, and the chairman is cooperating with the investigation. The Journal's report has also revealed that the board's investigations have unearthed older non-disclosure agreements around claims of misconduct made by other former female WWE employees that involve both Vince McMahon and the company's head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis. It is currently unknown how many of these claims are being looked into, but the payments made relate to them are said to run into millions of dollars. can just see from primetime players, isn't it? Millions of dollars.
They got me doing that tight up here there.
Now, Fightful Select has reported that McMahon's alleged relationship employer has been suspected within WWE. She had been given a major promotion in 2021 from Laurinaitis' assistant to the role as of director. The promotion happened during a time when the company was making major cuts to the roster for budgetary reasons. The report also shares information regarding the opinion of a female roster's members on the return of John Laurinaitis to the head of talent relations. One anonymous talent is quoted as saying, "I'd rather get all my shit sent to me in a trash bag when I get fired than have to deal with John Laurinaitis, and neither are good options." WWE sources believe this situation will ultimately lead to Laurinaitis losing his position, and they also believe it is the biggest threat to McMahon's control of the company since the early steroid trial of the 90s. So that's the bits of the moment. It's all over the place now. They just updated it by the hour. He's gone. Laurinaitis is gone no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Laurinaitis is gone. Laurinaitis is gone for sure, but
he's gonna be the fall guy. He's gonna be the fall guy if Vince is able to get out of this. But real quick, Bobby said I think Linda would leave Vince. Y'all don't think that Stephanie left because she wanted to spend time with the kids and Triple H since he had a health scare? I think we talked about that a little bit before with Stephanie and whatnot, alluding to that, huh? And
Triple H went back when Stephanie went on hiatus. Triple H returned back to work.
Yeah. So he's not home with Triple H. So they just swapped over things because she was at home when she was working, and now she's at home while he's working.
Yep.
Well, and from what I've heard too, Linda and Vince were planning on separating anyway. Like this wasn't a new thing. Like from what I've heard, because I think they were selling their penthouse.
There's one more person that's got to come out of this, and we haven't heard anything from him yet, but he will because we know what he's like. Shane.
No matter. Yep.
Shane will lose his bloody mind. Oh, here comes the fist. Never mind the money. He will not hold back on Laurinaitis and his dad. He won't.
Mm-hmm. I will say this. If Vince McMahon survives this, it's gonna be a hell of a story for Monday Night Raw or something. And a return for Shane and Stephanie.
We'll have Paul Heyman writing the shows, won't we?
Oh, buddy.
Well, all I know is at this point, Jeremy McDevitt has his work cut out for him.
Oh.
Like, if he thought the steroid trial was going to be bad, I think this is going to be up there. Like, I think this is going to be just as difficult for him to have to navigate. Because this shit is just absolutely ridiculous. Like,
I want to say something, too, about what Bobby was saying about Linda leaving Vince.
Yeah.
Man, I think their whole marriage, as of late, has been a business arrangement. Like, Linda being wasn't she a senator or something? Or I know she was in the Trump administration, but by her having a political reach that she has, is good business for him. Remember when COVID shut down everything, and certain businesses was said to be essential or wasn't essential, and WWE was considered essential business to keep them running and stuff? Hell, he got that because of Linda McMahon's political connections and stuff. So it's a business.
He also paid people off too. Let's not forget that. Yep. He also paid people off because I remember they were going to make him shut down, and then the state of Florida was like, "Oh no, y'all can still do y'all's thing." Yeah, just my pockets just got it feels like 800,000 pounds heavier. I think that's what he paid. I can't remember. He paid like a lot to that state to be able to actually wrestle, to be able to do his thing.
And because of that, AEW was able to function through the pandemic too. So Vince McMahon,
they were working on Florida too, so that helped.
Yeah. So I think it's a business arrangement between the two of them and stuff. It's beneficial to both.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to all them monitors from the Thunderdome.
They probably got it in storage somewhere in case they got to do that again.
I mean, I'd like to give everyone a monitor so that way we could all have two screens and kind of keep an eye on things.
I think those were some big ass screens.
Yeah. They probably were. I think they were like.
Did any of you guys try to register so you could have your faces on the pay-per-views or Raw?
Man, I thought about it.
And then, like, when it came to me getting on there and stuff, like, I don't know what the hell happened, but like it just shut me down. Like I was in the little lobby, I could hear everyone talking and whatnot. And it was like, "You're gonna be on TV in about 5 seconds, 5, 4," and then it just shut down. And I'm like, "What the hell?"
Do you remember one of the first ones when that guy did the face of Chris Benoit?
Oh God!
And they did all them pictures of all these other wrestlers and everything that are blacklisted for WWE, and they had John Moxley and Chris Benoit, and they had all these pictures of wrestlers, and they said, right, then they had to do the list of what you weren't allowed to do before you went on the Thunderdome.
Yeah, I remember they had one dude somebody had like a beheading.
Oh God!
The Benoit was fantastic.
Jesus Christ!
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby said he can't see Vince surviving this, which I mean,
well,
I don't know. Like,
he's good off anyway because he's got all that damn money and stuff.
Like on one hand, I could see this really affecting WWE, but on the same hand, he is Vince McMahon. He did beat the government.
Yep.
Like he did when.
But it's a different time now. This is a different time now. This is.
Yeah, I agree.
He didn't have a public company then. He was a private WWE. Now he's got to answer to shareholders. He's got to answer to everybody. He's got to answer to Peacock. He's got to answer to everybody with WWE underneath him. So
I've often said this before in the past. I was like, I think WWE did the worst thing by going public and becoming a corporation. Because they can't do what they used to. Like everybody wants WWE to go back to the Attitude Era days, but they can't do that because they got to answer, like you just said, shareholders, companies, and sponsors, and all that stuff. They can't do that stuff no more. They got to be PG now.
Mm-hmm.
So if he goes, who takes over?
Nick Khan.
Nick Khan to go.
Nick Khan will take over, and
so Steph or Shane?
Nah,
no.
I feel like the
There's no McMahon's in sight. Like for the
Shawn Michaels.
Huh?
Yeah, he's closest to a McMahon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, here's how I think it's going to go, because I think you're going to have Nick Khan at the top of the pecking order. The McMahons, you may have the surviving McMahons. I think Stephanie's going to kind of go back into her role, maybe, if she isn't soured by the whole thing. Maybe see Triple H do something. Jeff Jarrett's just recently got a job as the, I think he's the EVP of booking and event dates, I believe. I don't know the exact name of the title, but yeah, Jarrett just recently got booked doing that. So when your company's in doubt, you always have a Jarrett up there in the pecking order.
Sorry, I'm just laughing. I've just got my notification that I've tested positive for COVID.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
God damn.
Well,
yeah, I know I've got it.
That's a bit late, but
yeah. It's 1 o'clock it's 1:30 in the morning. Now you just text me to tell me I've got it. Yeah, I've known it. I know I've got it.
Thank you. But anyway, but yeah, like I was saying, like I don't know. I can't see anyone other than Nick Khan taking it over right now, because like I feel like he's done. I don't know. Like I don't want to say he's done a lot for them, but like as far as like from a business standpoint, I think like he's been like the right hand man of Vince, like other than maybe Laurinaitis and like
he's supposedly been in the I guess had a hand in the wrestling business previously, because I remember The Rock said that him and his sister were all friends and stuff, and they learned a lot from each other from when in the past when they were working with the WWE and stuff. So he might have the knowledge to run WWE. I think they'd probably keep somebody like a Triple H or Stephanie McMahon there, just to give that face like, okay, this is still WWE. It's still in the, got the McMahons involved, but Nick Khan's going to be the CEO and operator of WWE.
Well, it's big because it's on CNN.com now.
Yep.
I think Nick Khan, like if he ends up getting the company from Vince McMahon and going into power, I think the long-term plan for him is he's going to flip it. He's going to flip the company, and he's going to try to make a profit. That's the plan. Bobby said, I don't want to see Nick Khan taking over. Rather see Jeff Jarrett, Shawn Michaels. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Like Jeff Jarrett Jerry Jarrett had more of a chance of getting the company over Jeff Jarrett because Jerry Jarrett was one of the more main guys, and from what I've heard, Jerry Jarrett wasn't even supposed to be the guy according to Bruce Pritchard, but them two also had heat, so I don't know who's right or wrong in that sense. But I mean, Nick Khan has the closest vision to Vince McMahon when it comes to sports entertainment out of the group. So Vince McMahon's going to go to Nick Khan for his, to run the company. If Vince McMahon has to step away, sell the company, or whatever.
One saving grace if they do sell, there's one guy that they can sell to, and I think it'll probably be in good hands, and that's The Rock.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. The Rock would have to get some financial backers, but I think he could do it.
He can do it.
Well, he's doing the XFL, isn't he? He's in charge of XFL now. He's bought it off of Vince.
Mm-hmm.
He paid Did he pay something stupid?
Yeah.
Y'all said what I've been saying for the past, forever now. I've been yelling. I'm like, ever since Nick Khan started getting all this power, I said, and then I seen that post that Cuff was talking about him and The Rock being close friends. I said, in my mind, I said, this was gonna happen. I said, Nick Khan's gonna get enough power to where he's gonna sell WWE to The Rock. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe that.
I believe it too, man. Cause The Rock's the only logical answer. Only other person I could probably see buying WWE that's wrestling affiliated would be Tony Khan, and Tony Khan got his hands full right now.
Yeah.
I've never looked forward to a Jim Cornette podcast in all my life as what he's going to come up with all this happening this week.
Jim Cornette about to go now.
Jim Cornette's going in. But real quick, Samantha just hopped in chat. Sorry I'm late, gents. What's up? How's it going? I think that I do like the idea of Rock potentially buying the business, buying the company if Nick Khan does indeed sell. I think, but me personally, I think what's going to happen, I think Disney's going to be like, hey, here's a lot of money. Here's more money than God has. We're going to take WWE. Disney is the one I'm still sticking with. I'm still putting my money on Disney to buy WWE because they can go with SportsCenter. They can SportsCenter will have more content to use with WWE because, let's be real, ESPN is not doing it like how it used to do 20, 30 years ago.
I know this might sound crazy, but I think Tony Khan might have something to do with all this. He might do to Vince what Vince did to the WCW in the 90s. He just might say, if Tony Khan can get the finances at back of him and say, look, I want to buy if WWE does come up for sale, you can bet your ass that Tony Khan will be straight on that phone and go, right, I've got the backers, I want to buy WWE. I want AEW to do to WWE what they did to WCW. I want to buy that WWE.
If Tony Khan buys WWE, then professional wrestling on the mainstream level is dead.
I don't think that what you were talking about with Disney buying WWE, I don't think Disney would buy WWE because they've never really been invested in WWE. Wrestling.
Do you think Bischoff?
If any company were to buy it, I would think it would be NBC Universal because they have a long history with WWE.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
I think Fox has the potential to buy it. I think Fox could buy it.
By Disney, but they would have to go through Disney.
Mm-hmm.
If he does, if he puts it up for sale, look at the main players. We've just said about 5-6 names now, and they're all genuine names. It's not as if we're just coming out of the air. The Rock, Nick. Sorry, what was that, James?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah. Freddie Prinze Jr. would have to have a lot of backers too. He'd have to have a lot of financial backers.
How much money has Jericho got? He always said he would be if he'd have known how much the Vince had bought WCW, he'd have bought him.
I got someone.
Bischoff.
I got someone who could buy it. I got someone who could buy it.
Bischoff is a businessman. He was a businessman first before he was a wrestling promoter, and I believe he can do it too.
Yeah. Mark Cuban could buy it. Mark Cuban. I think he's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mark Cuban has the money. He's a WWE fan. I think he could do it.
Yeah.
He has enough money to buy it. Like, he may have to have some backers, but I mean, just to make sure. But I mean, if you're looking at WWE, like, that's going to be billions of dollars you're going to have to, like, throw forward. You're going to have to, like, be sure you have, like, plenty of financial backers to be able to handle this, or you're just going to have to be straight up, like, you're going to have to be, like, basically Elon Musk to be able to.
But look what you've got. But if you can get the money, look what you've got. It's not just like no disrespect to it. It's not like a backseat company. Like, it's not like TNA. You're just buying a ring and you're just getting TV time on the YouTube every now and then. You're buying a corporation that makes millions of dollars every single month.
You're buying years of content.
You've got a network. You've got your own network. You could do so much with that network on your own. Kevin Nash has always said it. Why don't they put the third hour of Raw on his network and just have adult content? He always said that. But whoever gets it, if Vince decides this is too much for me, I'm gone. Right? WWE will be the hottest property to be sold ever. Everybody in wrestling will go crazy for it.
What were you saying, Cuff? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said I believe the people who purchased the UFC could possibly purchase the WWE too.
I mean, maybe Viacom maybe potentially could throw their hat in there. Viacom?
Who?
Viacom,
yeah.
Yeah, Viacom, like Spike, Nickelodeon. I mean, I can see them doing a lot, like with WWE. Yeah. I mean,
I think Shane is going for it because Shane's always had interest about buying companies and things like that. He's got that interest at the back of him. And he can get the interest. Shane, I'd put Shane in the mix.
I always thought Shane was the more business savvy of the McMahons, like out of like Stephanie and Shane. I always thought Shane was the more business savvy. Like
Shane, the first time Shane left WWE, he went out and he wanted to prove that he didn't need the WWE to survive, and he was out here as the CEO of other companies and stuff, and was buying smaller companies and whatnot.
He told Vince to buy the UFC, and he said, no, I don't want UFC.
Shane's always been the businessman. That's why his theme song is "Here Comes the Money," because he always looking for the money.
Yeah, history would repeat itself because Vince bought WWE off his dad. So Shane, it'd be history repeating itself again.
Yeah,
he's only.
Go ahead,
go. Not the bunch. No, I was gonna say Shane was the only one really not affected right now out of this whole scandal and whatnot, or seems like he's not somehow connected as of right now.
Yeah.
So possible, yeah.
I bet Shane. Sorry,
I got another one for y'all. Who could probably buy WWE?
Who?
Trump.
Fuck no.
Trump.
Fuck no. Fuck off. Trump, yeah. Like, it's actually funny.
Hear me out. I just said like I said, Trump has the financial backing to do it, and he's a friend of he's a friend of the McMahons.
Yeah. When they did the angle where Trump bought WWE from Vince McMahon in 2009, the WWE stock dropped a full $1 in one day when they thought that Trump was buying it. Vince McMahon had to go out and be like, "Nah, we didn't sell the company to Trump. It's just a storyline." Yeah. I actually posted that recently on Twitter. That actually was interesting, but like that their stock was like dipping when they thought Trump bought Raw.
I think at the end of this, we can agree though. Laurinaitis won't survive a week. He'll be gone by in the next week with this.
Yeah, Laurinaitis is out.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gonna be the fall guy.
Yeah, Laurinaitis is good as gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got all these people that's been released and everything. They'll be going, "Karma's a bitch." Mm-hmm. I wonder if all these people that he rang him will ring him up and going, "You're fired." So This is the biggest thing in wrestling in years. This is without a shadow of a doubt now.
They're looking. All the former wrestlers are looking at him like, "Hey, how's that extra money treating you, Vince? You getting a nice little."
Hey, I ain't trying to spoil nothing, but I seen a video online of this upcoming Rampage with Max Caster doing a rap.
Oh God, yeah, I saw that.
Oh God!
You know Max Caster was going to go win.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting since we were sitting there talking. It just came to mind, like when you said something about Laurinaitis getting calls. I remember he did a rap before about learning how to fire people.
He did a rap about Amber Heard literally hours after the verdict was announced, weren't it?
Yup. Damn. It's crazy. It is crazy. But yeah. Lauren Ice is out. I think Jeff Jarrett probably would take his job though.
I wouldn't be mad if Jeff Jarrett took a bigger role.
Jeff Jarrett or Schmeichels. I'd do it one of them too. Even Triple H. I'd enter Triple H.
Yep.
I think Jeff Jarrett
was Triple H role too. Once before, wasn't it? Like talent relations.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett took Triple H's job, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like Jeff Jarrett was a good creative mind. He just trusted the wrong people in TNA. That was his problem. Yeah. He should have never trusted Russo.
Yeah. How long before the Pritchard goes as well, Bruce Pritchard? Because now
I hope it's soon.
Oh man, he's the one really needs to go for real. Because like he's just a yes man.
He's always been that.
Like,
always been the same. Always.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think, because I think a big reason that the women's division is suffering as much as it is because of Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis making all the female talent uncomfortable, because it's like we're trying to make the women fuckable and trying to just market them for that and not on their wrestling ability or their gimmicks. Like, I fucking hate the fact that they have to market it as sex sells and that's just all they're good for, because that's fucking bullshit. I hate that.
Well, I was like sort of getting back to the point, like when I looked at the first three participants of the Money in the Bank women's ladder match, I was like, I don't think anybody else picked up on it, but hell, you had three blonde-haired, blue-eyed white women in the as the first three participants. I was like, oh, we're going back to that again, or pushing, what looks good versus who's actually good in the ring and whatnot. So. I
had to go take the dog out. I'm sorry. She didn't want to be here anymore. But anyway, yeah, I'll read chat real quick. Bobby said, I really hope Bruce is gone. And then Samantha said, yeah, it's not 2001 anymore. You can have strong, capable women instead of models. Lacey is a joke. I mean, I had high hopes for Lacey, but at the same time,
damn it.
Huh? What are you saying?
Leave Lacey out of this.
What? Wait.
Lacey who?
Wait, I'm so confused. I mean, I like Lacey. I liked her gimmick. I like the idea, but God, her gimmick is just, they keep they're not giving her consistent booking on her gimmick, and it just pisses me off. And then you've got other people too. You've got a lot of good women. I think Shotzi Blackheart's really talented. You literally let Ruby Soho walk out of your company and go. You let God, what's her name? Mia Yim. Mia Yim was really good. Huh?
I'm still waiting on Shayna Baszler to get some type
Shayna
of
Baszler still hasn't gotten her push. They completely ruined Shayna Baszler, who is one of the probably just as legitimate badass, more than Ronda Rousey, I think, potentially. I think Shayna Baszler's a better grappler than Rousey, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you think they'll do Baszler versus Ronda at SummerSlam?
They have to.
Yep.
I would.
They'd be stupid not to, because they've teased it. They've been teasing it since. They've been teasing Baszler and Rousey since the Royal Rumble, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
When they were in the ring together.
Just why not just give Baszler the rub on that? Because Baszler, they completely just ruined her, in my opinion. Baszler was one of my favorite women's talent for a long time. She's still one of my favorites because she's a nice person. I don't know if you've ever watched her YouTube channel. She's a legitimate nice person, and she's a killer in the ring. I like the gimmick when she was biting the back of Becky's neck and making it a pride thing, you're making that woman your bitch, basically. That's how lions would do that in the jungle and shit. That's how they would show dominance. Yeah. And I like that gimmick. I thought that was a good gimmick, but they just, even with Becky fucking pregnant, they still didn't let Baszler win the title, which is the dumbest one of the biggest like fumbling of the bags that WWE has done with Shayna.
They put her with Nia Jax, for Christ's sake. What the
She made it
were
work.
you thinking of putting her with Nia Jax for?
Like, worst part is, like, Baszler was talented enough to make it work. Like, I mean, like, what it was. Like, Samantha also said, I said what I said, you know, taking up, or saying Lacey's a joke, and then they're saying they're shitting on Xia Li and Shotzi. I agree that, like I said, if you're not the prototypical woman that Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis wants to have sex with in the cotton panties and what have you, then WWE's not going to have a place for you. And it fucking sucks. Because there's a lot of talented women that could potentially run with the ball, but they're never going to get the opportunity because they don't have a certain look.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating.
I call bullshit on the look that you guys are saying, because look at like Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's been featured prominently. Rhea Ripley doesn't look like the prototypical. Bianca Belair definitely doesn't look like the prototypical.
Well, I think like Bianca Belair has gotten she's gotten like hella popular, almost to where she couldn't be denied, like as hot as she was. But I think, like, I don't know, it's hard to say. And Rhea Ripley, I mean, yeah, she's had like a few good moments, but I mean, outside of like some of her main event feuds, she hasn't really done much. I mean, yeah, she's joined Judgment Day recently, but I mean, they've been hot and cold with Rhea.
Yeah, but she had amazing matches though with Charlotte. That storyline with Charlotte Flair, that was cool.
And that set her back. But when Charlotte won the NXT Women's title from Rhea, that set Rhea back a whole year.
Yeah.
Like, that was bad. Like, I don't know why they did that. And then Asuka, look at Asuka. Asuka, well, I mean, she's recently started to get featured more prominently now, but it took them forever to actually do something with Asuka.
It's never been the same. They've never done the same with her. Sorry, go on. Nah.
Well, I was gonna say, Asuka, in my opinion, has done pretty good because, like, she's been Raw Women's Champion, she's been Women's Tag Team Champion, and she's had like matches against the Four Horsewomen, all four of the Four Horsewomen at that. And she's currently in one with Becky Lynch. I think she's been featured pretty prominently and pretty strong.
Well, now she has, like. Well, I'm saying now she has, but it took her a while to actually get going, though, because for a while they were, like, you know, they threw away the streak for, like, some ungodly reason, and it took them a while to get Asuka going.
She came up to the main roster, went in the Royal Rumble, she won the Royal Rumble, and then the first proper match she had against Charlotte Flair, she lost her first match, and then really they just buried her for the best part of 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
but she finally found something that worked for her. She started doing the Asian Mist, and she started doing like the gimmick where she's screaming at people now, and they completely changed her work style too. Like they completely nerfed her.
She's got to be the youngest looking. I'm sorry, but Asuka's the youngest looking 40-odd-year-old I've ever seen in my life. Dear,
I agree. I forget how old Asuka has been working or how long she's been working.
Yeah.
Smart woman too. She's a very smart woman.
She's one of the few women that get and stuff. Like if you look like at who gets pushed outside of Four Horsewomen, several of them that gets pushed and stuff like Asuka, Bianca Belair, who else?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. There's only a few of them that get pushed, and Asuka's one of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Don't start on Alexa Bliss.
I would say the same problem they have with the women, they have with the men too, though, in my honest opinion. Because almost every dude at one point in WWE had the bearded long
black hair, wore black. Yeah. They all look like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think
that's why I say Wardlow would fit right in WWE. That motherfucker he looked like a white Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Like, here's my thing. Like, if I'm building a wrestling company, this is what I grew up on. You had wrestlers of all different shapes and sizes and abilities. Like, the only thing that they had to have in common is that they could be presented as athletes. That's my only thing that I really like. They either need to be presented as athletes or look like they can fight. That's the two things that I require in a wrestler.
If you remember Nitro, when Nitro was on, the first hour of Nitro, what do you always used to see? You saw the NWO at the start. Then you'd have the cruiserweights. Then you'd have some little stories involving the mid-card wrestlers, all in that first hour to keep you going. And then the second hour hit, and then boom, you had the main events and everything that was built up to the next pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. That was a cracking wrestling show because you saw wrestling in that first hour, and it just knocked everything else out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it sure enough did.
Yeah.
He's just...
Samantha also said in chat, except the men are used as sex symbols and they aren't facing sexual harassment backstage. Yeah, I mean, that is the issue that's going on, sadly. I hate that's going on, too. I wish, like I said, it starts at the top. It starts at the top. You have to cut the head off the snake there because, like, it's Laurinaitis. It's Bucky Beaver.
I know Cuff knows this saying. I know Cuff knows this saying well, but it's a saying that goes in the Army, shit rolls downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it rolls downhill.
Yep. Yeah. Because I mean, like I said, like look at the people who are in power and look who like they're looking at. Like Vince McMahon, like John Laurinaitis. Why can I not remember Bucky Beaver's name?
Fuckboy Dunn. Just call him that.
Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn. Yeah. Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn's the worst. Yeah. Like here's like I said, if you're a woman in the wrestling business or even if you're just a professional wrestling fan, you want Kevin Dunn's head on a fucking stake. Kevin Dunn is the biggest enemy to women's pro wrestling in general, really, but especially women's pro wrestling. You want Kevin Dunn's head on a fucking stake because he is the reason that a lot of these women are sexualized on TV. Like, read AJ Lee's book. AJ Lee literally had Kevin Dunn tell her that she wasn't fuckable. Literally to her face.
That's a lot. I would say Kevin Dunn was the reason that Becky Lynch wasn't getting pushed originally because of her accent.
He doesn't like people with accents either. Yeah, he doesn't like foreign people. Like, he is an enemy. He is an enemy to not only women but foreign wrestlers as well. And Kevin Dunn has to go. He's racist. He's misogynistic, and he needs to go.
Mick Foley has just tweeted 3 hours ago. Mick Foley's just said, "Today would seem a good day to remove Donald Trump from the Hall of Fame."
That's hilarious.
I've been telling y'all for years that damn Kevin Dunn ain't shit. Now
no one's disagreeing with you.
Now everybody on the goddamn bandwagon. I've been yelling this shit.
I've been yelling it too.
Kevin Dunn. I was like, Kevin Dunn ain't shit. Oh,
Kevin Dunn ain't shit. He's never been shit.
Like, all right.
Bobby said, Butt-Tooth Beaver. I think he meant Butt-Tooth Beaver. Kevin Dunn needs to go. Butt-Tooth Beaver works too. And then Samantha said, hand this shit to Fit Finley and be done. I agree. Fit Finley, you could also put in Dutch Mantell. Dutch Mantell knows how to book women. He booked the knockouts whenever they were doing good. Like, Dutch knows what he's doing.
But he's just doing a podcast. He's doing a show on YouTube now. He's been telling everybody about his career and things like that at the moment. That's cool. That's a good thing to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. Like, I'm sorry I keep yelling, but I'm fired up.
Right, I feel sorry for one thing in this because I'm sticking it for me with British side of things. If Vince goes, I'm frightened for all the folks that I know well that are doing NXT UK. Because there's some great kids there. I know I'm 50 odd years old. There is some great kids there, and there's some great talent. I mean, you've got it now on the main roster. What did we call last week? Excuse me, Gunther, Intercontinental. I rest my case. Thank you. We call that.
That's a good thing. That's one of the good things.
Let's hope that they book them to give.
There's been Pete Dunne. There's been Kaylee Ray. There's been Tegan Knox. There's been all these. There's been Dewdrop. There's been all these people have come from NXT UK. Whoever takes over WWE, NXT UK, they'll say, right, what can we do to cut costs? And straight away, NXT UK will be the first victim. And it's wrong because there's a stack of people down there that work their arse off week in, week out. And they're fantastic folks. And they're fantastic in everything what they do. And I still think that they don't get the fair share crack of the whip and everything at this moment in time.
I think that NXT is the best. I've been saying for a while that NXT UK has been the best NXT in WWE right now. Because I remember I watched a match on there not too long ago between, I think it was David Mastiff. I think his name.
Dave Mastiff.
Yeah, big dude. I forgot
Dave Mastiff is good.
Cause they still got my dude on. They still got my homie. What's my dude name on there? They still got my dude Tyler Bate on there.
Yeah,
he's still part of Mustache.
That was Mustache Mountain, yeah.
Him and Trent Seven.
Here's what I think. You know, going off of the NXT stuff, they need to expand NXT. I put an NXT in fucking Japan and Australia and like China or India. I put it in India.
They tried that.
They tried that with that's the reason why they did that one special in India, because they were going to expand to India, and then Japan. I think there was so much competition in Japan, they just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, Japan would be stacked.
Japanese wrestlers over.
James, I've just put a match in the classic matches thing just for you. Dave Mastiff versus Kevin Steen.
Hell, I'm going to watch that.
That is brilliant.
Come join the Discord for that. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'll put a link.
The Discord now. Classic matches: Dave Mastiff versus Kevin Steen.
I hate the
brilliant. I was actually there for that one. I'm not kidding. I laughed my head off so hard. Kevin Steen and Mastiff tore the place down. It was beautiful.
And I still like the NXT UK champion, Ilya Dragunov. He's been having some really good feuds. There's been a lot of quality feuds on there. Most recently, they just did for the NXT UK Women's Championship. They did Maiko Satomura versus Ivy Now, which was a really good match. You know, I think Ivy Now is going to be the face of how they're booking her in NXT and how they've been pushing her. I think she's going to be one of these at the forefront next women that they're pushing.
Yeah, she'll be the next 4 horsewomen.
I can see her. It could be her, Nikita Lyons.
Nikita Lyons.
My favorite story about NXT UK is I remember when a girl, she's 21, she was 21 at the time, and she was wrestling all over the UK, and her name's Stephanie Newell, but you know her better as Tegan Knox. And she announced that today was the last match for this certain company in Britain. So everybody was all there, and you could have your photograph took away for £5. So I said, I'm going to give it £5. I've got no problem. Went in the ring and I says, are you looking forward to America? She went, how did you know? I went, everybody knows where you're going. She went, I can't wait. My flight's booked Wednesday. And this girl was so excited because she was signed by WWE. And I said, do you know what they've got planned? She says, I know for a fact that I won't be having my name. She goes, but they can call me anything. I'm signed with the WWE. And then she had all them knee problems. She had them knee surgeries where she blew her knee out twice and everything like that. And just as she was coming back, and she had that great feud against Dakota Kai, and she did all these things, and then that Torag Laurinaitis released her. And that's the one thing it hurts me more than anything else. Anybody else with the Brits, we couldn't go, but that girl did not deserve to be released. She was fantastic, Tegan. And then Steph, and she's wonderful. She'd have been great at the Castle one in September in Wales. She'll be there.
So what? They had her in the tag. I remember they had Tegan Knox in the tag.
It was her and Dakota Kai, wasn't it? Because Dakota Kai turned on her.
Didn't they beat Natty and Tamina when they were the tag champs? Never got a tag team title.
Yeah, that's when they got awarded the tag titles. That's when they got awarded the NXT titles, women's tag titles.
Yeah, they split them up in the draft. Tegan went to Raw, and then a week later they released her.
No, the women's tag titles got, when they formed the NXT women's tag titles, this was Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai who won those belts.
Yeah, but when they won the main roster, they had Tegan and Shotzi versus Natalya on SmackDown.
Yeah,
maybe I have my days mixed up. Maybe I have mine mixed up.
Because then they did the brand split, and Tegan went to Raw, Shotzi stayed on SmackDown, and then they released her the week after.
Yep.
So she never got to appear on Raw.
That sucks. I hate it.
It does.
Like I said, I don't know, and this could be just how I see it, but sometimes because I had a stint where I went through my Japanese wrestling phase. I enjoyed watching that. I think British wrestling might be the most pure form of wrestling, pro wrestling out there, because I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about British UK wrestling that is wholesome and good at the same time. Like I don't know what it is exactly, but you might know what I'm talking about, Dino. As far as that goes,
It's like watching a bar fight.
I don't know. It feels like the UK's all in it together, in my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong about that.
I don't know
like,
about that.
The UK is like watching a bar fight, like sort of like watching old NWA wrestling matches. Like it's like a fight, and it's not like entertainment like what you see in WWE main roster, or it's not heavily choreographed like what you see in AEW. It's like a fight, like an actual fucking fight.
Yeah. I think the British scene in the last so many years has gone on to a different level, and that's because we've had the new generation of guys coming through. I mean, I started watching it again 2011, and there was all these guys like coming through, like Chris Travis, Tyson T-Bone, Joseph Connors, Martin Kirby, and Pete Dunne, and a young 16-year-old like Tyler Bate. And all these kids, and all of a sudden, they started growing up, and they got the experience at the back of them. And they were still on like in the early 20s or something. But then we had the guys coming over from America, and it weren't like they're like the 50, 60-year-old guys. It was the Ring of Honor guys like Finn Balor and Kevin Steen and Davey Richards, Samoa Joe, CM Punk. And we had all these guys coming over that wanted to make the name and show the British people what they could do. And it just took them guys to a different level. And then all of a sudden, every time you went to a British show, you knew who you were seeing because you were seeing Joe Connors and all these other wonderful fair people doing it. And they'd been trained the right way, and now they were passing it on to other people. So the product as a whole was going through the roof, and it still is to this day. But you see what's happened like in the noughties with British wrestling, and British wrestling was on its arse. There was nothing there, but all of a sudden now, everybody's been having better venues. It's come out of the, I don't want to sound disrespectful to the working men club type scenes where people you do it and you have drinking beer and then you'd have a wrestling ring in the middle of these dingy pubs full of smoke and everything. It's come out of them type of venues and into the big venues now, like the theatres that are holding thousands instead of the ones that were holding 100. It's now holding 1,000, and there's more people now coming to see it and things like that. And it's great to see what's happened over the last 10 years with it.
Mm-hmm. I agree wholeheartedly because, I mean, I think, like, it almost seems like in the 10s, I think international wrestling grew because I think the product in WWE was, like, so up and down. Like, yeah, we had the Summer of Punk and we had, like, Daniel Bryan winning, the world title at his peak. But, I mean, there was a lot of ebbs and flows and a lot of people looking for alternatives. And I think people eventually found New Japan as an alternative. People found, like, Rev Pro, ICW, and, like, a lot of other British promotions.
Don't get me wrong. What WWE they killed the British scene for about a year because they signed all the guys for NXT UK, but then they signed a contract that said you are not allowed to go back and wrestle for the British companies. You have signed to WWE. You cannot wrestle for all these companies that have made you a star. You are now property of us. So that affected the British scene as well because now all of a sudden, like, well, we've lost all these people that we've had every week and we can't have them again. We've got to make new stars. So then the new guys have come in and said, right, we're going to take the opportunity and we're going to go with it. So now we're getting the next generation through. And I haven't seen WWE sign anybody else up for ages from NXT UK, for ages now. Well, I don't know what's happening.
Well, WWE goes where the hotbed is because, like, the hot hand for a while was the UK. And then, like, the hotbed was in Japan. Like, remember, they signed everyone in Japan, too. They got, like, Nakamura. They got AJ Styles.
Yeah.
They got, like, Anderson Gallows to sign.
Yeah.
They got, like, a bunch of people. Like, the main people. You have Balor. I think Balor was a little bit earlier than them, but, like, it was just absolutely insane. Like, WWE will just completely raid a hot territory and just, they did it with Ring of Honor, too. They did it with Ring of Honor. They raided all their talent. Like, any place that gets hot, like, they're going to raid their talent and take everything
look how
from
many
them.
came from Ring of Honor to NXT. You could name, it was a who's who of Ring of Honor at one stage. Nigel McGuinness, CM Punk,
Samoa
Adam
Joe.
Cole. Oh, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, War Machine. The list went on and on and on. I think the only people that didn't sign were the Briscoe brothers.
And Jay Lee.
They weren't going to sign them.
Yeah, and
They're not gonna touch the Briscoes.
I would love to see the Briscoes go to WWE, but they would not be booked right. They would not be booked right at all.
Could you honestly see the Briscoes on a WWE ring?
Hell no.
Never in a million years.
Dude, they probably had them booked like the Godwins, the two.
Yes, that's what they would do. They put them in overalls.
Oh, they would be the new bushwhackers.
No, they're gonna be straight overalls. They'd be like, "You're gonna wear these overalls to the ring with no shirt, and you're gonna
look what they did with the Ascension. Look what they did with the Ascension. That was the craziest thing.
Man, fuck what they did with the Ascension. That was horrible.
They did them dirty. You want to talk about the team they did dirty? As much as I didn't care for the Ascension, like I said, they were dominant in NXT. They were solid in NXT. Then when they put them on the main roster, they made them basically a demolition Legion of Doom ripoff. It literally just had, like, JBL buried the shit out of them in that promo. Even though that promo they cut wasn't the best, where he was an old runner Rush, we basically kind of took a dig at the Elite Road Warriors.
Well, the story was they were burying him for, saying they were better than the old teams, and JBL's getting hot, and eventually I think him and Farouk beat up the Ascension like afterwards, and it completely shit on everything that there was nothing they could have done after that. Like they were dead in the water. Like the poor Ascension.
I think the tag team that WWE have shit on in the last 10 years, FTR. Because look what they did in WWE. They were amazing in NXT every week. The matches they had. I mean, Simon and what were them guys with big tashes? What were they called? Simon Gotch and
Vaudevillains.
Oh, the Vaudevillains.
Simon Gotch and fuck.
Yeah, the Vaudevillains. Look at that division they had with the NXT. You had the Vaudevillains, you had FTR, you had the Ascension, Enzo and Cass. You had 5-6 tag teams there.
American Alpha.
Brilliant. And now look.
I think Enzo and Cass would have been. I think they could have been big. I think they would have been bigger. Enzo would have had some kind of damn control.
Like if Enzo had told the WWE about the allegations, Enzo would probably still be in WWE and probably still be doing pretty well. Aiden English was the other person from Vaudevillains. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, Aiden English.
Yeah, I was like, I remember they turned him into a commentator.
Me and him share the same birthday.
Huh?
Me and Aiden English share the same birthday. I didn't know that, but
I can't remember who I share a birthday with. I can't remember, but
do you know, on his show, I can't see Enzo and Cass without looking at Kevin Owens when he did the famous dance at SummerSlam. I'm sorry. Every time I see Enzo and Cass, and I just see Owens and Jericho, and then I just see Owens do the Enzo dance the whole length of the ring. That just makes my day. That's completely.
I will say this much: I do think there's a chance that Big Cass may come back to. I think there's a slight chance that he come back to WWE.
Yeah,
because I know I just read something recently that he left Impact.
Yeah.
And
speaking of which, the one guy from NXT, Tony D'Angelo's henchman,
Two Dimes,
whatever.
Two Dimes.
Your boy Two Dimes.
I put Big Cass back in NXT at this moment. He do a very good program with WorldBreakerz.
Oh yeah,
he's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better, and he's
slimmed down.
He's slimmed down a little bit.
He's gotten
Looks
better.
amazing.
Yeah,
put Big Cass back in NXT and watch him go there.
I mean, it's just like I said, just like sometimes just losing a little bit of weight, getting a little bit more tan. I mean, and learn a hold or two. I mean, it does wonders for you. Like it really does wonders for you.
If he does go back to the main roster, he probably wind up on what was it, SmackDown?
Probably
wherever Carmella and Corey Graves ain't.
Oh God, no.
That was a shit show. That was an absolute shit show.
I don't think he'd be back with Carmella because that's who we split up from, remember? So
yeah.
No, I'm saying they got to keep them separate. I think she's on Raw. Her and Corey Graves on Raw, so he'd have to be on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
he went down, Edge again.
What?
Yeah.
So he went down like a big segue, like that whole way. But I think something else we were going to talk about too, because we talked about. So like it got released earlier that Kevin Dunn could face prison time, but that ended up getting retracted because Kevin Dunn wasn't on the board of directors at the time. He was just the EVP, and so he wouldn't have got in trouble for insider trading. But the allegations were he was going to be facing 20 years in prison. And it's just disappointment because I really wanted
board or anything to do get accused of insider trading. I think if you know that your stock is going to take a hit and you get rid of that stock or whatever, or you telling people to sell their stock, I think that right there violates that whole stock exchange laws.
Well, you have to be. I think you have to be on the board of directors because that's what I've read. I could be wrong on that,
Martha
but
Stewart went on board when she got arrested for that shit.
The what?
I said Martha Stewart wasn't on the board when she got arrested for that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping like it still will work, but I mean, from like I said, from everything I've read, that like he won't. He's gonna
for his man to go to prison.
Huh?
Damn. I said, damn. It sounds like you hoping for this man to go to
I
prison.
kind of do because fuck Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn is damaged. He's ruined so many people's lives and ruined so many people's careers. And that motherfucker going to be in there in fucking jail, fucking making prison shanks with his fucking teeth, trying to fucking bite down on a fork and shit. Stupid motherfucker. Hey, Google, change the light color to red.
She gonna meet the booty
Fuck
warrior.
this guy.
Now, you see, I like you, and I won't.
Dun, dun, dun.
The easy way, we can do this the hard way.
I hope that happens to him.
It's gonna always be the hard way.
I hope they make his ass wear cotton panties for once. I hope they make his stupid ass wear cotton panties because fuck this guy. Like, fuck this beaver. Let him go build dams in fucking Lake Minnetonka or whatever river flows down into that bullshit. I really hope he goes to prison because he would get what he fucking deserves. Because he's a piece of shit. And I'll never forgive him for all the talent that he's ruined, all the misogyny, all the racism, all the bullshit that's happened with him. He can go and burn in hell. Okay, Google, change the light back to white.
They deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Okay, Google, change the light color back to white.
I just pictured the Samuel Adams. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
That's about how I feel.
Just for you guys, Rennie Dupree has said a statement about Vince McMahon. He's
Oh,
come out
hell.
and said that Vince and Linda have not lived together in decades, according to Rennie Dupree.
That doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock me one bit because Vince McMahon isn't the type to romance.
I think Vince and Linda have always been in like one of those like open monogamous type relationship things that rich people do. Like Cuff said earlier, that rich people shit.
Yep.
Vince McMahon
Look at
obsesses.
Bezos. Look at damn all the other billionaires. They got side pieces. And marriage is a damn business arrangement. And when it turns sideways, what happens?
Everybody get paid.
Spouses leaving with half the money.
I don't even think it's not even all about like Vince McMahon just being a billionaire. It's just the fact that he obsesses over pro wrestling or sports entertainment so much that he doesn't give Linda the time of day. And he's a shitty husband because he doesn't spend time with his wife or anything.
Like you just said earlier, he sexualizes women that he works for him and stuff, like wrestlers and female wrestlers and stuff. Hell, look at what he's pushed like in the past. White, blue-eyed, blonde women. That's his type.
Sable,
and
Trish Stratus.
Tell me that he ain't around all these damn women and he don't get a hard on or something.
And he makes the women make out with him too.
Dude, tell me, dude, when Stacy Keibler came into WWE, what was the first thing he had her do?
Pretty much give him a lap dance.
Whatever.
He gave that man a table dance on his first, like.
Yup.
Y'all know damn.
Let's not forget about Sable.
No, that's what I said. I said Sable.
He made Chris bark like a dog.
Sable was like the least talented woman to ever win the women's title.
Despite talent, she still had a lawsuit for sexual harassment against the WWE.
She sure did. She sure did.
Oh shit, my bad.
You stupid.
Wait, what'd he say? What'd you say?
We've had just to change the mood, we've had 3 debuts in Impact Wrestling at the latest tapings. I've just found it.
He said, Cuff had said something about what you said something about Emery. Yeah, he said something about she's still a student for sex. I said, despite all that, she had big ass titties.
What were you saying about Impact Wrestling?
3 debuts, 3 returning superstars are back in Impact Wrestling.
Who are they?
Maya Yim, and 2 of the Aces and Eights, Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff.
Not Wes Briscoe! Fuck! Damn it! About to turn my red light back on.
Yeah, they're back in TNA Impact. Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe, 2 of the original Aces and Eights.
Those are 2 of the most useless motherfuckers that ever walked through Impact.
Yo, we never got a family reunion of the Bischoffs. Eric, his son, and damn Eugene.
God dang it, Cub. We'll never see Eugene on a national stage. We'll never see.
Could you imagine doing Eugene these days?
Oh,
this day and age now.
No!
How the hell did they get away with that? You made fun of somebody like that. How the hell can you get away with a wrestling character like that?
I'm a
bad
fan
and wrong.
Look, I'm a firm believer Eugene could have worked, but not in the way they did it. They should have made him a wrestling savant. Maybe make it where he stutters here and there, but make him, like, impeccable in the ring. Like, make him damn near perfect. Like, maybe it's like, okay, he can't cut the best promos or something, but make it to where his in-ring work is, like, really fucking good. And don't make him look like someone who's mentally challenged. Or the stereotype, if you will.
We are talking about...
You remember that time Eugene took a booger out of his nose and put it in Matt Striker's mouth?
Oh my God.
I thought that shit was nasty as hell.
Well, we are talking about the company that Goldust had an electric shock and then he got Tourette's. So...
That's not how that works!
Hey, James, you remember when Goldust kissed Ahmed Johnson? You mad as shit?
Do you know the worst thing is? That thing about Goldust with Tourette's. When you can get Triple H in that ring laughing his head off because he can't hold back, you know you've got a good gimmick there. That's gonna be one of the craziest gimmicks ever. Triple H.
Y'all remember when he I know Dino was talking about the superhero and training thing earlier. Y'all remember that segment where they had the superhero and training thing? Goldust on there, he kept yelling out shit.
Shit.
Hold on, see if I can find. I can see if I can find it. I've got to get that T-shirt. I've got to get it.
That was like Jerry the King Lawler, 90s Jerry the King Lawler would not.
Oh no, no!
If any of y'all remember,
Yes, I remember
on Goldust?
No. What was that one promo? He said some very bad slurs. He called it was Goldust. What he called Goldust?
He called Goldust a flaming, you know what? He called him the S.
But the Godfather called William Regal that too.
He called Goldust's daughter a target because everyone's had a shot at her. He called her a target.
Yeah.
Which somehow was the least offensive thing he said.
Now, Cuff, I know what you're talking about. When William Regal, he said that. I don't want to say that one, but
he said, "Yeah, I heard you Brits were limey." I ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna tell you. You have to go on the network and probably see it. But he was talking about William Regal, where he's from, and being, a little fruity. But
yeah,
I'll leave it with that.
But everyone was on about the ruthless aggression, but some of what we just said came from that era. And Rosie and Hurricane and things like that. I think one of the funniest ones I remember was when the Hurricane ditched the gimmick and he came back as Gregory Helms. And all I remember is me saying, I went, this ain't going to work. And they said, why not? I went, stand back, there's a Gregory coming through. He just doesn't have the same time. It still doesn't have the same gimmick as the Hurricane. And they're like, what are you on about? And I went, well, it's Gregory, isn't it? It's Gregory Evans now. Stand back, there's a Gregory coming through. Nah, it don't work. No, don't work that. No.
Hey, you remember when the Hurricane was hiding in the Rock's locker and he told the Rock that the Scorpion King had a small ding-a-ling? I was like, how the hell did you get away with that, doing that shit?
There is a video on YouTube that's got that whole feud from start to finish. It is genius. It's the best minutes ever. Brilliant. What are you doing there? Hey, look, it's nothing. He says he knows you.
The Rock put Hurricane over so huge in that. Hurricane
Stop
actually
laughing.
pinned. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
one of the rocks, one of the best of the rock ever. The scene was
Hollywood
just
Rock
so
was goat level.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Hollywood Rock was
He
the
gotta
best
come back.
Rock. There's no.
If he ever comes back to face Roman Reigns, he got to come back as Hollywood Rock.
Mhm.
Oh, brilliant.
I think the fans would cheer Hollywood Rock now though.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, most definitely. Like you have him come back, man, and doing them rock concerts like he used to do against Roman Reigns in the Bloodline, buddy. That'd be epic.
That'd be ratings gold.
Shit.
I
Roman
think
that's where-
Do you remember
Do you
that
think that's
promo?
where?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, do you think that was unsaid? Do you think that's where WrestleMania is going next year?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, do y'all remember that promo that he cut in Toronto and he completely shit on them and destroyed them? The Rock did?
Yeah.
My God, that's
I
one of
think
my
it was
favorite
greater
promos of all
in,
time.
Sacramento, when he was talking about the damn team, he said, I'll be sure to come back in May when the Lakers beat the Kings in May.
Yep. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That crowd was so loud.
That's one of the greatest ones with Elias and Kevin Owens when they were in Seattle and they were on about the Sonics and then the Sonics moved and the whole place booed them for about 10 minutes and they couldn't get a word and they were going crazy and I'm like, yeah, you've got heat now.
Booed the fuck out of them.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes you have to go after the sports teams.
Oh.
You have to go after the sports
That's
teams.
what you gotta do.
I wish death on Big E because he came out in Pittsburgh and he had a terrible towel and he was wiping that terrible towel everywhere inside his tights and everything. I was wishing him to die when I saw what he was doing with that terrible towel. I'm going, and you died, and everybody that knew me went, I hope Dino's not watching Raw at this moment in time. And I went, I'm watching it, and I'm going to give him I was going mental. I went, you will die, you pathetic New Day piece of shit. I was going crazy after what he was doing with that terrible towel. In Pittsburgh, of all places.
I think it'd be equally hilarious if Bobby was there and the terrible towel came from Bobby.
Oh.
If he took the terrible towel from Bobby and did that shit, that would have been funny and you know it, Dino.
Bobby would have tried to swing on Big E.
Big E would have whooped his ass too.
I know Bobby would have tried to swing on Big E.
Yeah. Big E would have swung Bobby.
Speaking of Bobby. Speaking of
go on, sorry.
I was gonna say, speaking of Bobby, real quick. All right, guys, I'm jumping off here. We'll definitely do the show with y'all next Thursday. Sounds good. Enjoy your assignment, talking to Vince Russo, and just be sure to get us that information, bro.
Swerve, bro.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, like, oh my God, that's. There's not really. It's kind of funny because if you come to North Carolina, you can't really talk shit about the sports team. So I think the North Carolina people actually talk more shit about our sports teams than anyone else. Like, we talk more shit about the Panthers than y'all could imagine. And not to mention, too, like, when it comes to North Carolina, it almost seems like, I'm about to block you, Bobby. Jim Cornette, give me a call. Fuck you. Anyway, I see more Cowboys, Commanders, and, like, Giants fans more than I see actual, like, Panthers fans. Because just like the older people who watched the NFL in, like, the 80s and 90s and stuff didn't, like, watch the Panthers as much. They already had their team and their loyalty. Like, they kind of...
Well, shit, the Panthers came in around the mid-90s.
95 was their first season.
Yeah, 95 with Jags.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We had, like, Kevin Green and...
Kevin Green. Oh, hold on. Oh, Psychmaster. Give me a break here.
We had Kevin Green and we had...
broke my heart when he left the Steelers. He broke my heart.
Mm-hmm. Bill Goldberg was actually a Carolina Panther at one point in his life. He was actually in the supplemental draft. We drafted him.
Oh, I actually had Reggie White, too, at one point.
We had Reggie White. I think Kerry Collins was our quarterback at that time. I think we had Kerry Collins.
Yeah.
Or was it Steve Berline? It was either Kerry Collins or Steve Berline.
Yeah. I think Steve Berline was later.
It could have been. It could have been Steve Berline later. Yeah. I knew it was around in that era, in the late to mid-90s. Samantha said, nobody hates the Panthers like a born and bred Carolinian. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we get more popular down the road, but I mean, it is what it is.
Well,
I think,
like I said, y'all head coach, y'all first head coach is one of my greatest rivals of all time.
man, Don Capers. He did good for us the first 2 years. The first first year, as an expansion team, you're not going to do that good. That first year though, Don Capers got us to the playoffs, and we beat the Cowboys. We beat the Cowboys, but yeah, Don Capers went back to your team, and he did some good up there.
He got a Super Bowl. That's about it.
He did get a ring. But what was it you called it? The 5 heartbeat defense?
Yeah, that goddamn 5 heartbeat defensive scheme. That bullet head son of a bitch.
Where's your red light at, James?
Fuck.
You need your red light.
Speaking of Carolinians, are we gonna talk about Jeff Hardy and that damn DUI?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's segue. Speaking of bullet head bullshit, segue right on in.
Bullet head bullshit. I don't know why that got me.
So Jeff Hardy punk ass got fucking arrested, got another goddamn DUI charge. And this motherfucker got a DUI charge at 9 o'clock in the goddamn morning. How the fuck do you get a DUI charge at 9 o'clock in the goddamn morning?
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
He was driving from North Carolina to North Carolina in Florida.
Yep.
Here's the crazy part. Like I seen the TMZ showed the officer officer.
Yeah.
There was a 37-minute cut.
He was swerving.
Yo, he was like, he almost ran into the side of a wall of a bridge. He almost ran into that. He was all over the shoulder. He was riding 2 lanes. And I think other drivers had called the police because of his erratic driving and stuff.
I think there was 4 or 5 911 calls.
They pulled up on him with guns drawn.
Yep.
He wasn't responding to him. He was so fucked out of his mind. I think he blew a .29, which
0.294, something like that.
Yeah, 0.294.
Like the legal limit of what it was in Florida, I believe.
Whenever you get to that level, close to a 0.3, you're looking at potentially going into a coma and dying. I think it's closer to 0.4. 0.4 is where you actually go into
alcohol poisoning.
That's lethal alcohol poisoning. But whenever your tolerance gets up that level of 0.3, you really got to get some help. If you're able to do that, and
it's time he admit the honest thing is, I think he just needs to. First thing he needs to admit that he has a problem, because
he hasn't admitted to it. He doesn't admit that. He says every time he's never once said I need help. It's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's problem. This is a guy who's married, got kids, he's got everything. He's fucking up his brother's chances of working again. He's fucking up his brother's money and everything with the company because he can't keep himself straight for 10 days. Fuck Jeff Hardy. Fuck him.
They were supposed. Hey, Dean, let's get your red light. We'll get you a red light too. We'll get you a red light as well. But I agree with you.
How many times are we going to see reports of Jeff Hardy, Sonny, Jimmy Uso? How many more times are we going to see these people drunk in DUI charges? Sonny's actually killed a guy now.
Yep.
What's next? How many times are we going to see these 3 fucking idiots throwing away their lives because they can't stay sober?
Yep.
We're with you.
I
We
remember
agree.
he watched WWE. They were saying that WWE wanted him to go to rehab, and when he left, everybody was like, "Yeah, go for Jeff Hardy. You knew you didn't need to go to rehab." But I'm like, if WWE saw a problem, he needed to damn go to rehab and got there taken care of and stuff. Now, Moxley, he had a problem. He went to rehab. You haven't heard of an incident yet from him. And
He's looking a lot better too.
So what?
He's looking a lot better too. He's not swollen up or it. He looks a lot better.
Everyone's happy for Jeff Hardy. He left WWE to go to AEW and stuff. And I do sort of think it's got a lot to do with how AEW had him doing some of the matches, doing them damn spots off of the ladders and the matches with Darby Allin and shit. I'm like, he shouldn't be doing that shit. I think I've said it in a previous episode. He's too old to be doing that shit.
He's doing too much.
Yeah.
sit your ass down somewhere and take it easy, man. Darby Allin needs to sit his ass down somewhere and take it easy because he ain't gonna make it with the spots that he does and shit.
Yeah,
Like, how long?
Darby Allin be doing jackass stunts for no goddamn reason. It's like, what?
Exactly.
How much longer is it going to...
The thing that does me is with the Hardy Boys and their legacy. They've not done one. Everyone goes on about, they've done these great matches, but they've all been gimmick matches, like ladder matches, the TLC, the chairs, all this. No one ever remembers a wrestling match. I think the only time, even with Edge and Christian, because that was a ladder match at Unforgiven, I think it was. So they've never had a proper wrestling match where they come and say, the Hardys have had a great match without the gimmicks involved. This is one of the best tag teams over the last 20 years that everybody loves to bits. The Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, Dudley's, the whole lot that set the standard. He's fucking up everything that he's built over 20-odd years. This is all he's going to be remembered for. They're not going to be remembered for the fact that he dived off ladders, he dived off Madison Square Garden, he dived off top of a chair. It took Undertaker to a greatest match ever. But he's going to be remembered for being fucked up, pissed up, and killing somebody. Same as Sonny.
Killing himself, potentially.
We're looking at Scott Hall 2.0. We're looking at a worst case of Scott Hall by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I really think, I think the biggest problem, with Jeff Hardy right now is the fact that, like, he was high on pills a lot of the time, and I think he just, like, switched this, like, okay, I'm not going to do the pills anymore, but the alcohol now, this is pure speculation. Like, I think the alcohol has taken that spot of all the pills. It's like, okay, I'm not overdosing on pills now, but I am drinking, and, like, I like that Rebby Sky, like, was like, look, I'm not Jeff's keeper. We told the person organizing the event, like, not to sell alcohol. We told him, especially not sell it to Jeff. And Matt's been sober. Matt's been through his issues. Matt's had, well documented, like, issues to the point where he almost killed himself one night. And, like, Jeff Hardy has gone through similar issues and is still going through it. Like you said, he has a family. He has other stuff, people that he's hurting. He's hurting his wife and kids. He's hurting his own brother because, like I say, he's taking money out of his pocket. Like you said, they were scheduled to win the tag team titles in that ladder match. They were scheduled. And Jeff Hardy took it all away from them because Jeff Hardy made a bad decision. He was selfish, didn't call it Uber, and just made a whole string of bad decisions that affected his loved ones and himself. And he honestly deserves to go to prison to take his time because he's looking at 5 years. 5 years in prison. That's his third DUI in 10 years. Like, I don't know.
Here's the part here's the kicker for me. Like I said, pro wrestlers, I'm sure they make good money. And my thing is, why? If he knew he was in no shape to drive, like, why the fuck would you go behind the wheel? And I'm not gonna say, because I've seen a lot of people blaming, Matt Hardy and Rebby Sky on Twitter because, they're enabling him. I'm like, no,
that's a cop-out.
He's a grown-ass man. He can make his own decisions.
It's a fucking cop-out, and I fucking get mad every time they say that. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I was saying it's a fucking cop-out. It's a fucking cop-out. Like, you're giving him an out. It's like, this is other people's fault. This is other people's fault. Like Dino said, it's their fault at the end of the day. Like, it's that person's fault. They made the decisions. Jeff Hardy is a grown-ass man. He is a whole grown-ass man with an entire family, supposed to be the head of the household, supposed to be the provider, but now his ass can't provide for his family because he's suspended without pay. And has to go through a rehabilitation program before he can even come back. Which I'm telling you,
ironic. I bet the rehabilitation program he's gonna go to is gonna be funded by WWE.
I think he's gonna be a Tony Khan one. I think that's what Tony Khan said.
I wouldn't touch him with the boss pole. I wouldn't touch him. I'm sorry. You've burnt so many bridges with us. You've burnt everything you've got with us. Do it on your own now. This is your choice. You either go. Tony Khan said he's not getting no pay. Right. He should go to rehab off his own back. If he wants to get healthy and if he wants to get sober, then he has to pay for it. He has to take responsibility for his own actions. And now what's going to happen with Matt? Matt's now not got no storyline. He's now at the bottom of something in AEW. Where what can we do with Matt Hardy now? Because all of a sudden his brother is in such a bad state that he's just fucked up a program involving Hardys and the Young Bucks.
let's talk about Matt Hardy real quick. Poor Matt Hardy has had the most snake bit WWE or AEW run out of anybody else. Like, look at him, because when he first came in, he had he kind of came back with the deletion thing. That's when they had the pandemic and they had no fans there. He had that concussion falling off that ladder, had to take time off. He finally got some traction going with the AFO, but that was kind of shit, to be honest. And ended up finally getting some momentum, getting his brother back in AEW television, and finally started getting the ball rolling, and fucking ruined it for his brother. You have to feel bad for Matt Hardy in this situation, because Matt Hardy is not an enabler. Matt Hardy has done everything he could to try to maintain his run and try to maintain his spot in AEW, because he's trying everything. He's legitimately trying everything to have a good run in AEW. But now, in the latest line of fuck ups that he could not control, Jeff Hardy now fucking makes like that string of bad decisions and just fucks everything up for Matt Hardy and everyone's family. I mean, Samantha said I agree with Dino, so she agrees with you about the thing. But yeah, you gotta throw the book at him. You gotta send a message.
You mean throw a brick at him?
The softly approach is now done. It's got to be hardball with Jeff Hardy. It's got to now say, this is your last chance. But you guys know as much as me, there's always going to be a wrestling company in America or anywhere in this world that if Jeff Hardy's a free agent, they will pay Jeff Hardy this. They'll pay Jeff Hardy thousands to come over and wrestle just for that one match. And he'll do it. And he'll get shit-faced on the plane. He'll get shit-faced on the train or whatever it is he has to go to. He will get fucked up. And then you'll see Jeff Hardy worse than he was at Victory Road, or worse than Jake Roberts and all that. And that's going to be the sad thing. In 10 years, are we going to be talking about the resurrection of Jeff Hardy? Apparently, Matt's reached out to DDP to see if he can sort out Jeff. But
that's the guy he needs to talk to, right there, DDP Yoga. But I think Jeff Hardy's had a DUI in every company he's worked for.
He's a triple crown.
Am I correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
He's a triple crown.
TNA and AEW.
Ring of Honor.
It's just TNA, AEW, and WWE. He's just. I think that's the meme I've been seeing floating around. He's got the triple crown, the first triple crown wrestling when it comes to DUIs, and it's just.
Yeah.
It's like I said.
That's crazy.
It seems like Jeff's a good dude too.
It's same. Like I said, it's like as much as I said, as much as we talk about, I said at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, I like Jeff. I'm a fan of Jeff. I just, like I said, I rather him. I want him personally to get help so he can, so he can be a
wrestler. Yeah.
He can, but like I said, there's people who I know. Like a friend of mine, my friend of mine, Zach, was a huge Jeff Hardy fan. Like when I say huge, I would say this dude was he was as big of a Jeff Hardy fan as Bob. He's to what he was to Jeff Hardy to what Bobby is to Jim Cornette. And I posted. I heard that. And I posted on Facebook. I hope he gets the help he deserves. And he posted, "Fuck that piece of shit."
Dang.
And he had told me a story years ago. He got to meet, because Jeff Hardy did a show here I want to say he did a show here at a local bar in Concord. And I think not too long after he got arrested in Concord.
Yep.
I forget where in Concord, but he got arrested in Concord for DUI. I don't know. How much was it, DUI, Cuff, or was it a?
Yeah, it was a DUI.
A DUI charge. And he told me, he's like, I used to look up to Jeff Hardy, and he said all these him getting fucked up and all this stuff. It just I lost a lot of respect for him. And like I said, hearing that, I was just like, damn. Kind of hearing somebody say that about somebody they looked up to is kind of it's disheartening in a sense, because somebody that you looked up to, hearing somebody talk about somebody they looked up to, just losing that much respect in their eyes, kind of
But it hurts.
Hearing him say that, I was just like, wow.
I just don't want to be sat here in either 6 months, a year, or 2 years doing a Jeff Hardy tribute show because he's died because of something like this. That's my concern. He's a father to some girls. He's got a wife. He's got a wonderful house. He's done everything what he's done in his life. Come on, Jeff, sort yourself out because you've got a family that loves you. You've got everybody around you that loves you. And the only person that don't love Jeff Hardy is Jeff Hardy. Because otherwise, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
I don't think Jeff Hardy will ever see this, but like, if by some way he hears this, like I said, I'm just some hick that lives 1 hour away from him, and please get the help that you need, man. Please get the help because you got a lot of fans that care about you and your well-being. You got a family. You got everything. You know, you got all these people that care about you. I really don't want to do a WorldBreakerz show where we talk about your death. I really don't want to do that.
I don't want to see. The one thing I don't want to see is that day when the Hardy Boys go in the WWE Hall of Fame and there's only Matt stood up there.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm going to be scared of because the Hardy Boys deserve to go in. Edge and Christian, all of them, they deserve to go in for what they've done. I want both Hardy Boys to be stood up there, accepting their induction into the Hall of Fame. I don't want Matt set up there on his own. That's the thing that was me.
Samantha said he endangers other people with his actions too, which really what gets me. Yeah, I think we hit the nail on the head with that. I think we're more mad at the fact that he the damaging stuff that he's done to everyone else, and that's a side effect of alcoholism. It affects everyone around you.
It's more the fact that it's the fact of what he's done to himself, and it's the fact of what he's done to his brother. Because it's like you said, they were on the verge of being the tag champions like yesterday. They were verge of being AEW tag champions in that ladder match. We'll never know now what was going to happen after that ladder match. We'll never know what happened. What happened after it was fantastic, by the way. I loved it. I couldn't believe it. Mm-hmm. But it begs a belief to say, yeah, but what if? And that's all the thing you can say with Hardy Boys. I mean, when they came out of WrestleMania a few years ago, and everybody, I don't care what anyone else says, if you wasn't a Hardy Boys fan, and they came out at WrestleMania, that pop will live in from memory forever. Because nobody knew they was there, and it was like, oh my God. And everyone who's an Attitude fan, and everybody that's loved wrestling over the last 20 odd years, know who the Hardy Boys are.
Mm-hmm. It means a big deal around here too, because it's like with your local legends, y'all have their Dino. It's like the same with us. Like I feel a special connection, like with the Hardys, with guys like Ric Flair and guys who grew up. And when you see them just completely just make an ass of themselves and do something so fucking stupid, it just like you just want to like strangle them. It's like, I want you to do fucking good. I want you to do fucking good. You want to fucking wring their neck. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. Like that you see people that you look up to, like what James was talking about with Zach earlier. Like it's frustrating and it sucks. I hate that we have to like think like this. Like I want to talk about like with Jeff, I want to talk about his classic matches. I want to talk about like whatever cool shit he does on like Dynamite or whatever. But instead, he's just abusing his body, and his God lives in a bottle, and it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. I've seen many people close to me struggle with alcoholism, and that's one reason why I've never taken a drink in my life. I've never intentionally taken a drink of alcohol in my life. And that's just
intentionally, huh?
Huh?
Unintentionally. Well, you've never taken a drink intentionally, huh?
Yeah, I've never drank a drink intentionally. I'll go off into a side bit real quick because I want to lighten the mood a little bit. So we're at this Japanese restaurant. I'm with my friends, and so how many of y'all been to a Japanese restaurant where they cook in front of you? How many of y'all ever?
Hibachi grill?
Yeah, like a hibachi type place. I don't know how many people have done that. So have you ever been to one, Dino? Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, I've seen them, but I've never been to one, no.
Okay, so I didn't know if they had those in the UK or not, but so he's cooking on the grill, and he's like finishing up, cleaning up and everything. So he's got like a little chicken. I thought it was spraying water. And he's spraying it in my friend's mouth, who has a lot more experience with alcohol. He's He knows how to control himself though. He's not like an ass, and I usually drive them anyway. So he's like spraying the like water. It's spraying. It looks like water. I'm like, oh, he's drinking it like water. And he does it to other friend. His other friend's the same way. Does the same thing. I'm like, oh, okay. He must be spraying lemon water on the grill. So I'm going to try some of this. So I have my mouth for it. It goes, it hits the back of my throat, and it burns like a motherfucker. It's pure sake. Pure sake. And I'm like, oh God, why is it spicy? Like, why is it so spicy? And I'm dying.
Never let a man squirt something in your mouth.
Yeah. Fuck you, but yes, you're right. But yeah, I was like, God, this shit sucks. Why do people drink? It's not even fun. It hurts. I guess it's the same like logic of like, why do people eat spicy food? But like, that shit's not even fun. I don't know. But so I think I know where you're going with this, chat. But yeah,
Chap out here letting men squirt shit in his mouth, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so by the way,
like, why is it so spicy?
WCW content's coming to the network next week.
Wait, what now?
Yeah, more classic content coming to the network next week.
What classic content?
WCW content, yeah.
Oh, what's supposed to be coming? Like what specifically from WCW?
No, it just says WCW classic content coming to the network and Peacock next week.
Like some of the earlier years, there's probably like a big gap between like certain years within WCW.
What, probably like Saturday night or something?
Huh?
Probably like WCW Saturday night or something?
Yeah, probably like that.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Yep.
I mean,
I was a fan of WCW back in the early 90s and shit.
That's what got me hooked on the WCW Saturday night is what got me hooked on the wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We used to go,
hey, you remember that black top match Dustin Rhodes was in against the black top bully on the back of that
semi-truck? Hell no.
Oh, they both got fired.
Hey,
they got fired for blading.
If it's the 80s stuff like they did when they birthed the Horsemen, I'll be all for it. If like that with the 605 TV shows, if they do that, I'll be over the moon with it.
That's probably what it'll be. I think
classic stuff, but all the early stuff, all the classic things is going to be great anyway. So I'll look forward to it.
They might put up some WCW Thunder as well. Dear God, it's probably going to be some WCW Thunder stuff.
WCW Thunder was ass after like the. WCW Thunder had like those old WWF show effects. No, WWF.
I watched 2 episodes of Thunder, and I think the first one was when after the NWO reunited after the Finger Poker Do, because I wanted to see what was happening on that Thursday night, and they turned up with Hell's Angels, and everybody's wearing red and black and all this. And the second one was, I think it was, oh God, I thought it was Warrior was going to be on after he made his debut on Nitro, and he went and I went, oh, this is shit, so I didn't watch it after that. But
WCW Thunder was like WCW Thunder was always like those old WWF shows where like the first 2 were good and then after that everything else is just like hot garbage. You know, like
WWE shows now, like hell, like when they brought back Main Event, like when they brought
Superstars.
It had like CM Punk versus Sheamus when both of those guys were respectively the WWE and the World Heavyweight Champion, and they had like a banger of a match. And then I think they even had Undertaker and John Cena on that show. And then like after that, it just became a show for like
Spirit Squad versus DX. We had Spirit Squad versus DX.
That was Saturday night's main event. That was Saturday night's main event.
That's like Shotgun Saturday Night. Remember Shotgun Saturday Night?
Hey.
Undertaker Tombstone, Triple H on that damn.
Had they stayed in the nightclubs, I think they would have actually been pretty good with that. Had they stayed in the nightclubs. Because that shit was fun to watch.
Let me tell you, right? A lot of people shit on WCW, but WCW was ahead of its time on some shit. First off, WCW Spring Break used to be held in a fucking nightclub with a pool. A ring in the middle of a damn pool. That shit was innovative. I'm like, somebody gonna get damn thrown out the ring and they gonna go in the damn water. And damn sure enough, that shit happened. And damn other shit like the Sturgis bike rally when they had the Road Wild pay-per-view there.
Yeah,
like,
that was a problem
like
though.
That was innovative back in the day and stuff, man.
Yeah. That was
nowadays like people shit on it like, oh, WCW was nothing but bad faith. That's because WWE put that shit in your mind.
Right. They can talk much as shit as they can, but just remember this: one company was number one apart from WWE in the history of wrestling. One company for 83 weeks straight had WWE crying. They had WWE almost bankrupt because they was number one in the ratings, and it wasn't Raw. Everybody was watching Nitro.
Well,
that's the greatest time ever.
Sunday pay-per-view that WWE used to do.
Yeah.
They try to make it seem like WWE did that first, but WCW
did
the interactive thing first because they used to have a hotline that you would call and you could vote on matches and who was going to participate in those matches and stuff. Back when like bad guys and good guys were in separate locker rooms and shit.
If they turn around and do the worst 10 gimmicks of each company and they go Marcus Bagwell's mum in a cage match and all this, and then they turn around and say, yeah, but WWE had Mae Young giving birth to a hand. So it evens out either way. So there's all these bad gimmicks have happened on both sides. I mean, God Bennett. So I'd love to do one. I'd love to see the worst 10 top 10 gimmicks of both WCW and WWE at one point. Because I swear WWE have done a lot worse than whatever WCW did.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Jim Herd had a lot of stinkers.
Right back, and I think AEW can do it and it'd be perfect for them. The Lethal Lottery when they did the mixing of like people tagging up and stuff.
Yeah.
If AEW does that, I think they'd strike gold. Because I always thought that was interesting. Like you had the Road Warriors was on opposite teams. They were supposed to face each other, and they never fought each other in the ring. They just beat the other's opponent up and stuff. And I think it was for like a.
that was for the Battle Bowl ring, wasn't it?
To be number one contender.
It was the Battle Bowl ring too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And which company had War Games?
No, yeah.
That's all I have to say. Which company had War Games?
I always thought War Games was better than Survivor Series, to tell you the truth. I mean, like, I always thought it was a better gimmick match than Survivor Series. Survivor Series just sucked to me.
Yeah. Even WCW made Brutus the Barber Beefcake into the Zodiac.
Oh, but first he was the Booty Man.
The Booty Man.
He was the Booty Man.
And then the
That
Butcher.
was Bobby's number one wrestler right there, the Booty Man.
And the Butcher. And he became the Butcher when he turned heel on Hogan. And then he became Zodiac. And then he became the Disciple. That guy had more gimmicks in WCW than anybody else.
Hey, that's what happens when you Hulk Hogan's best friend.
Hey, he got all the push in the world, though. He got hella push.
Yeah, man, he's been at a pay-per-view with no. He made it
in a Starcade
with no talent.
That shit was horrible.
I know they're going back again. Have you ever noticed watching the old rise and fall of WCW and NWO and all this, how bitter Paul White, the Big Show, is towards Hall and Nash when he said, "Oh, they got the money. Anybody else coming in earning their money? But Hall and Nash always had their money pumped up and everything like that." You can see the bitterness in Big Show going, "They got the money. I didn't
I
get
remember when
nothing."
Kevin Nash broke his neck with that damn power bomb.
Yeah.
When he tried to hit the power bomb on him, he just laid his ass on his neck. I was like,
Yeah,
damn.
when he put Rey Mysterio's mask on, and Rey Mysterio had to take his mask off, and he's going, "No, put the mask back on, mate. Put it on.
Yeah. You remember when Kevin Nash threw Rey Mysterio into the side of that trailer?
Like a long dart.
Oh, God.
You can always say it, but
They have
for
people
nearly
calling
30 years
911.
It's now 27 years since 26 years since NWO debuted, and we're still talking about it, and we're still talking about the things that happened. Video games still have that content of the NWO. I don't care about what happened in WWE. Them years in WCW, Hall, Nash, Hogan, they were magical because it'd never been done before. It was like, whoa, hold on a minute. You turned it on every week, wanting to see who's next, who's going on next. Them days will never be repeated. And we're still
You didn't
talking
have the
about it.
internet.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't have the internet either.
You had the internet spoiling everything then.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Like, that's the problem now with, like, a lot of the business now. You've got internet dirt sheets and, like, ruining stuff for you. And, like, back then, you had no idea. Like, I think it was like I was telling you in the chat, Dino, on your stream, like, I was trying to remember how old, like, during the peak of the Monday Night War, I was like 7 or 6, 7 years old. Like I was young. I didn't really appreciate what was going on at that time. Like where had the essence of you never know what's gonna happen.
But in the 90s, I'll God bless her. My girlfriend at the time, she had to put up with some right shit with me. But everything was on a Friday night. It's like I said, but I think when first one, everything was on a Friday night. It was never live over here. It was always shown. Everything that was Monday, that was shown on the Monday, was shown on the following Friday. So we got it 4 days after everybody else. But that on Friday night in the UK, TNT Cartoon Network finished at 8 o'clock. Then you had 2 hours of WCW Nitro. Then they used to fit the 3 hours of Nitro into 2 hours. But then at 10 o'clock, you switched over to Sky Sports and you had Monday Night Raw. And then it was like, we've had 4 hours of wrestling. We've had the Monday Night Raw and we had Monday Nitro. Them nights were amazing. My dad, God bless him, he was in his 70s. And he's like, what is this? And I went, wrestling, Dad. And he went, what, World Sport Wrestling? I went, no, Dad, this is America. And when you got a 70-odd-year-old bloke going, well, I didn't expect that to happen. Bloody hell, what's he doing with that? What's he doing with a baseball bat? That's assault. That's assault, Dad. That's a GBH, for God's sake. Where's coppers? And he was doing that. And I thought, they've got something. Because if they can make an old age pensioner like that believe that somebody's getting beat up with a baseball bat, they've got something. And they do.
You know what's so interesting? Like with WCW, they always, like when something serious happened, they always had the police there, like ready to draw guns.
Yeah.
Like when the NWO invaded, I think they was here in Charlotte, and they had CMPD at the ring with ready to draw guns on the NWO.
Here's a question Here's a question for all three of you. Who was the one member of the NWO that you thought would have never joined the NWO? There was one. I was just gonna say one, Dusty Rhodes. I was like,
Dusty Rhodes.
When Dusty Rhodes changed, I went,
yeah, I had to say Dusty because Dusty was just like so left field.
Yeah. And
I mean,
Cody
he was
Rhodes
trying
saying,
to get back being relevant, and it didn't work. But I think it worked when he went to ECW and took on Steve Corino.
yeah.
That brought him back to relevancy there.
Yeah. I just remember Cody on the documentary going, yeah, I went to school the next week and went, hey, my dad's in the NWO. He says, I was the coolest guy in the school for weeks. And then he left and I went, oh, he's left NWO. Oh.
If you go back and watch that heel turn with Dusty, it looks like he kills. I can't remember who he dropped the elbow on, but it looks like he killed that guy.
Zabisco.
It was a bit. Yeah, he looked like he killed Zabisco with that elbow.
Yeah.
Like he laid that shit
do an
in.
elbow like him. No one will ever do an elbow like Dusty Rhodes. No one.
Like he would just drop that elbow, just look like he just wrecked your face with that shit.
I still remember.
You think about so many people doing it. So many people try to imitate it, and then only one guy can do it.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same.
What'd you say?
I said it's not the same. And another Dusty story on Dusty. I still remember which pay-per-view was it? It was a Night of Champions where remember they was doing the storyline with the Authority had fired like Cody and then they fired Dusty.
Yeah.
And then they had that.
Oh yeah.
I remember we was up at Buffalo Wild Wings. This is when Buffalo Wild Wings showed WWE pay-per-views. We was watching that pay-per-view match between the Shield, Rollins and Roman versus the Rhodes Brothers.
Rhodes Brothers, yeah.
And the spot where Dean Ambrose tried to like interfere and Dusty like stopped him and hit him.
I know where you been there with it.
Bruh. Like I just remember when Dusty did that, like everybody outside where I was watching this shit.
We lost our shit.
Word, like everybody collectively like marked out when Dusty hit Ambrose with that elbow.
Look, oh hell yeah!
His belt off and started whipping him like a whip.
You said what?
That was low key one of the best.
Get it when he took his belt off and was like,
oh yeah, he about to whoop his ass too. Literally.
Can I just say something about Dynamite last night? Because this has really pissed me off. Will Ospreay, they've put him against Orange Cassidy at the pay-per-view.
Oh god!
Really?
He just had like a great match with Dax Harwood too. Like Will Ospreay and Dax Harwood fucking killed it on Dynamite.
Absolutely. Yep. And then they put him with Orange Cassidy. Fucking hellfire.
I think they're trying to from what I read, it's trying to set up like I guess a multi-man match, like an 8 or 10-man tag match or something. United Empire versus the Best Friends and FTR or something like that. I agree.
I think
that's some shit fucking booking. That's a Tony Khan shit booking if I've ever seen one.
Blame the booger sugar.
As soon as I heard this music come out, I went, "Oh no, they're not going to put Orange Cassidy with Will Ospreay." No, and I messaged all the guys that we know him because when he wrestles over here, and I messaged the promoters, and he said, "Yeah," he says, "no matter how bad we got over here, we'd have never put Will Ospreay with the worst fucking wrestler on the AE roster." I said, he says, "If he can have a match with Orange Cassidy," he says, "he's made for life." I went, "Well, it's going to be the great Khali with the broom again."
Worst part is, like, when Cassidy wants to work, he can actually work. It's just he doesn't. Like, it's just the gimmick. Like, just hampers him so much because he's actually, like, go back and watch his stuff as Fire Ant. He can work. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you go back and watch his stuff as Fire Ant, but, like, he's just, like, just the way the gimmick is, it's just, he's lazy. That's just.
It just gets repetitive, and it's like, yeah. I think the funniest bit I've seen is that when he did it with Sting.
Yeah.
And Sting just did it. That was classic. That was brilliant. But where'd you go with that? Where'd you go? It's same with Darby Allin. Where'd you go with that one now? I mean, no disrespect to him, but we've said it before. Darby Allin needs to go from Sting. He needs to.
Darby Allin needs to
go.
Don't talk bad about my Sting.
Man, to me, because, like, I really don't see the excitement for it because, like, most of you guys from AEW came from Japan, so, like, there's, like, no big dream match. Like, when WCW did the whole WCW versus New Japan show, you never seen the WCW guys versus the New Japan guys. So when they actually, came out, it was dream matches and stuff. And, like, right now, I don't feel that with AEW and this whole Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Like, yeah,
I must admit, Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm's got me interested because, like we said, if the rumours are true about Thunder Rosa and she tries it with Tony will twat her. Tony will make her bleed. She'll bust her nose for her.
If they go into a shoot fight, it'll be interesting. If they go into a shoot fight, it'd be very interesting because I think they both have shoot backgrounds.
Yeah. I watched Tony Storm on the sessions. She had the latest thing with Rennie and all that. And she was saying about why she left WWE, what happened, and everything like that. It's a great one to listen to, but she pours her heart out. She absolutely just pours her heart out. She says, "I was a young girl, wanted to WWE, wanted to work for WWE, and that dream soon became a nightmare." He says, "From the moment she went up to the main roster, it became the worst nightmare she's ever done." And she says she couldn't wait to get out.
That's a shame too. You worked so hard to get somewhere, and then it just turns out it's not what it was supposed to be. And I couldn't imagine. Like I said, if I had been, if I hadn't hurt my back and I had gotten all the way to WWE and I got some gimmick where I don't know, got some kind of shit gimmick that buried me.
Ernest the Cat Miller.
Oh, I'll fight you. If they get what would happen was they'd give me the same gimmick and I'd be coming out to somebody called my mama, and that would be, and you probably would never see my face ever again. Yeah. I would live under a rock for the rest of my life and never talk to anyone ever again.
I mean, I've got in about 3.5 weeks, I've got my charity event when I've got all the wrestlers playing soccer and everything like that, and I'm chatting to them all the time now, and it's just getting to know everybody again and all the stuff and all his auction items and stuff. Got a signed picture of Lita. I've got a certificate, and it's got Lita in a bikini, and I'm like, is that really Lita? Really? Is that her? But she signed it. So, but if somebody had said to me all them years ago when I started my little thing, and they said about wrestling, and they said, in the 10 years that you did British Wrestling Radio, you would have been wrestling in that. You'd have been involved in wrestling in every way, like cameraman, announcing, being in 2 Royal Rumbles, being the referee, done everything in a gang. And I said, I'd have stood on that podium and I said, you lying piece of shit. They never would have happened. That rush when I stood at that, when I did the Royal Rumble, and I was number 38, I'll still remember it. and they were calling out numbers like 26, 27. I was shitting myself. And then these knee pads appeared about 30 seconds to go because I didn't have any knee pads on. And then all of a sudden they went, and I went through that curtain. To me, it was Madison Square Garden. It was Los Angeles Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
It was everything what it is. There was about 150 people in that venue. But to me, it was my WrestleMania. And it's on YouTube, and you see my face when I come through that curtain. And somebody said to me, says, Dean had music, he had his name on the screen, he had everything. You name me a wrestling fan that doesn't want just that, just once in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, okay, I'll take that. And that happened to me twice. And it was so funny. It was brilliant. I'll never forget them moments, everything. So wrestling, to me, is giving me some things that I'll always treasure. It's so funny.
I felt the same way when I wrestled in my home gym. I felt the same way. I didn't have the nameplate and everything. We weren't televised or anything. No one recorded the match. But, like, I remember that same feeling of coming out through the curtain. It was actually funny. I came out to Hail to the Redskins because our mascot was the Warriors. So we did Hail to the Warriors. That's what we called it, at least. But it was basically Hail to the Redskins. I came out to that song. And, like, I remember the crowd, like, going crazy. Like, oh, shit, Chapel's actually wrestling. Like, it was kind of a crazy moment. Like, I got to do some funny spots in the ring. I did the worm. It was actually funny. I got to do the worm. We literally stopped the match in the middle of the match, and we did like a dance break type of gimmick, and it was hilarious.
Like, I've just put something in the classic matches for you.
Okay.
It's a Royal Rumble. Just watch for the gentleman that comes out as number 38 that looks like Dolph Ziggler.
I'm gonna put it again in the Discord because you need to come join us on the Discord. Like, come if you want to see Dino come out in the Royal Rumble, get us in the Discord and go to the classic matches section. Like, oh, and I also meant to tell y'all this too. I don't know if I told everyone this, but we've been trying to get to 50 followers because we all want to get to Twitch affiliate, and I think everyone wants to get to that because we've got everything else that we need. We just need to get to 50 followers. We need to hit that mark. And I'm going to tell you, when we hit 50 followers on Twitch, I found an old backyard wrestling video unearthed with me and a bunch of my friends in it. So when we hit 50 followers and we get affiliate, I can't play the music, but the music's copyright. I can mute it, though. I'll play that video on stream for everyone to see.
I have a question.
What?
Did you do this for all the juggalos and jiggalettes?
No, that wasn't a thing back then.
No, the reason I did it. This is a real story. I did it. There was a young lad over here by the name of Callum Murray, and in 2011 we found out that he needed an operation in America. Mm-hmm. So I got wind of this, and we did a 24-hour wrestling radio show with British Wrestling Radio, and then we did two of them. We did one first of them. We thought, yeah, we've done enough money now. We've got into America. But then we had to do a second one. And the second one, we had so many people on it. We had Evan Ginsberg from the Wrestler film, Nigel McGuinness, Kevin Steen. It was a who's who of wrestling. It was fantastic. The 24 hours just went by in a flash. 2 weeks after that broadcast, the wrestling company in Sheffield by the name of NCWA messaged me and said, what are you doing in July? And I says, nothing. Why? And he went, do you fancy wrestling in our Royal Rumble? And I went, no. And he went, we'll show you what to do. Don't worry about it. Just come and show up a few hours early and we'll show you what to do. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. I'm 40 odd. I've got nothing. So it came up to the week before and I got a problem, hemorrhoids. I had a real bad problem with hemorrhoids and I was in pain. I couldn't walk. Mm-hmm. The day before, I was like, I've got to tell them that I've got to pull out. I can't walk. So the day of this wrestling thing, I went to my sister's and she says, hey, here's some tablets. And I didn't read the tablets and it said you can only take 2 every 12 hours. I took 8 at once because I wanted to kill the pain. So I get to the venue and I'm walking down and it was like Butthead going, and I'm going, oh, I'm fine. Really fine. And Then my guys are going, hiya, Dean, how you going? Oh, yes, I'm great. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. And I am literally up with the fairies. And everyone's going, what's he on? And I went, I've took some tablets. Oh, my God, I've took some tablets. Oh, my God. So they put me in the bag. And I'm drinking bottle of water after bottle of water, trying to dilute these tablets. And I went, I can't feel my backside. Oh, they've worked. I'm good. I was jumping up and down and everything. I went, well, yeah. And then I went out and did the rumble. So that's it. But yeah, I took some tablets I shouldn't have done. And next minute I was like, ooh. And my brothers and my sisters are in the audience because all you can hear on the video is me shouting Dino, and that's my family. And then afterwards, my brother looked at me and he went, what are you on? And I went, you know them? I said, I took her tablets. And he went, how many? I said, I took the lot. And my sister went, you're only supposed to take 2 every 12 hours. I went, I took 8 all at once. And she's like, how'd you feel? I went, I don't know where I said, I'm up the sky there. I said, I'm really numb. I cannot feel the pain, nothing. And it was always funny. Always. But yeah, I think it's, hold on a minute. I'm going to see what time it is. The time of this one. Oh dear. They've got all the NCWA chapters. Dean Mitchell goes in the ring at 42 minutes and 41 minutes and 55 seconds. If you do it to that, then you see me going into the ring with Dolph Ziggler's bleach blonde hair and everything.
Oh God. I'm definitely going to check this out after the stream.
And Callum was in the audience. That was the thing that made me special for me. Is the kid I was raising the money for, he was in the audience, so it really made it special for me. Mm-hmm. So, but it was amazing times. I'll never forget it. Absolutely.
I'm definitely going to check that out now after the stream.
What?
41 minutes, 50 seconds. I just went, oh my God. But to me, that was my WrestleMania. I don't care what anyone else says. Anyone else could say, oh yeah, but I did this. Yeah, but have you been in the ring? Did you learn how to fall? Did you learn how to take a clothesline? No. There's some magical things that you'll never take away from you. And doing this is just amazing as well, because it's doing wrestling again. And I thought I would never do it after British Wrestling Radio had finished. Yeah. I'm on a break next week. I'm not here. I'm going to miss this. I'll be watching from the coast. I'll be watching. My wife will be in bed, but as long as the hotel's got Wi-Fi, I'll be watching.
Okay. Yeah. We glad to have you on, man.
As long as COVID's cleared up by then.
Oh.
God.
Yeah.
COVID, man. Jesus Christ. Shit's terrible. Shit's terrible. But
that's the famous one with Spider-Man when he's doing this as well. When he's in the ring doing this. And his mask went up and he's like, and everyone's going, suffer. And he goes, throw me out. And they just they sat around the ring just watching him in the middle going.
If I'd found the rope, I'd have threw myself out. If that had happened to me.
Absolutely genius.
But I think the coolest thing, if we ever did get to the level where we were like big and we had a good following, I'd love to have our own wrestling promotion because that would be the coolest shit. And just like
I got offered one. I got offered to buy one a few years ago, and he offered it me. And he said, "This is the amount of money you can have it and everything." And I just went, really? And then I went, no, because I saw how stressful he is on days and all that. And I went, hell no, am I going through that? No chance. Mm-hmm. So I knew my place. I sell the merchandise. I used to do everything at wrestling things. So I'm glad to sit and watching it these days.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd have to set up the ring, you'd have to get everything ready in the arena, you'd have to get your vendor set up, you'd have to book your matches, you got to get your sound going, you got to like have your stage set up, and you got to have everything you need in the locker room.
Look after the overseas. Look after the superstars in the overseas. Mm-hmm. Dear me.
Yeah. You got to make sure you have security good and booked. You got to make sure you have no dumbass fans trying to do some stupid shit or anything like that.
ODB, God bless her, ODB, she came over here and I've got a picture with her. And she says, oh, you can put your arm around me. And I went, no, thank you. I says, you're a lady. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm respecting that. My arm's just down at my sides. And she says, well, that's a first. She goes, what? She goes, every other man I've ever known wants to grab my boobs and going, bang! I'm like, no. She went, What is it? Is everybody here having a personality transplant? Not one person wants to grab my boobs. She was so shocked at the British people that everybody else wanted to grab her boobs and go bang, and nobody wanted to do it. She was shocked. She said, "Oh, the Brits are so nice."
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, dear.
I can't believe she let people do
wrestling.
that.
What's that, Matt?
I was like, I can't believe she let people do that. I'm like, nah, I would never. I'm like, I'm too scared. Like, let me just my hands like right here, hide my hands. I have too much respect for that. Like, I can't.
Have you ever got nervous meeting one of the wrestlers? Have you ever, when you've met wrestlers and you've had a picture or like that?
Oh my God!
Have you ever been nervous?
Have I told y'all my story where I met Mick Foley? Okay, so this is the first time I've been starstruck. Mick Foley was my guy. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Probably is my favorite wrestler of all time because just the way he did things outside of the ring, the way he told stories in the ring, the way he cut promos, and the fact that, like him, I had a belly. I wasn't the prototypical wrestler. Like he was my role model. He was my guy. And we went to a comedy show where, I can't remember what year it was. This is a while back. This is before like Foley got all the surgeries and got himself, feeling better and stuff. He was doing comedy. I think he was selling one of his books or something. I can't remember, but we get in line because I think there was a meet and greet you could do after. I think that came with the price of admission, so that was generous of Foley because he didn't have to do that. He probably could have charged separate for a meet and greet or made it like a VIP deal. He didn't do that. He just like, look, one ticket, you're in. You can go wait. Like I say, you wait in line like everyone else, and you can meet me. So we get closer. I'm like, oh God, what the fuck do I say? What do I say to a man who I looked up to for years and years and watched like all of his stuff, can almost quote commentary to the point where I've watched his matches so many times. And I finally get to him and I was just stuttering, stammering, shaking, and I was like I looked like a total fucking mark. And I'm like, it's so good to meet you. And I can't even remember exactly what I said. I halfway blacked out. Like, I halfway blacked out, but I'm like, dude, I look up to you. I appreciate everything you've done for the business. And he was such a cool guy. And one of the things that stuck out in my head, I remember, I think I put my arm around him to take a picture. I'm like, this dude's cold as shit. Like, his back was cold as shit. I'm like, why is he so cold? And we took the picture, and you can see it in my face. I was so awkward with my face. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to do the bang bang. I didn't know if I wanted to do the peace. I didn't even, like, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I'm just like, I had so many things running through my head at that point. I eventually met Mick Foley again at one point, and I was a lot more cool than I was then. I'm like, I'm sorry if you met me the first time. I was very cringe, but I finally got my thoughts together now after 2 years of waiting to meet you again. But it was so funny, and like I said, I have I have the utmost respect for Mick Foley and everything he's done in the business, the way he's been a good role model. And he's been one of the few guys in the wrestling business, I think, that's universally loved and hasn't really done anything to let, like, a lot of people down. Like, maybe some of his political views might piss people off. Like, he likes what, like I said, and I mean, like I said, it's not like, I don't want to get political on the channel or anything like that, but Mick Foley is a genuine guy who loves people. Like, he respects women and everyone else.
He doesn't like Kane at the moment. Did you see the tweets?
Oh
wow!
Kane kind of deserves it though. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like, it's like I said, Mick Foley's my dude. He's always been my dude, and I've got one autographed item from him. Like, he's the only person I care to get anything autographed. I got an autographed Mr. Sacco. And if somebody else has a story that they want to tell, I can go grab that real quick.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can go find it real quick.
Yeah, I met the Hurricane one time at an air show here in North Carolina. About ripped his arm out of socket because I wanted to get a picture with him. But yeah, I got the picture, but the phone got destroyed that I took the picture on. So that was all for nothing. But he was a cool guy though. I recognized about everybody. I was like, oh shit, that's the Hurricane. Nobody was like, what the fuck you mean the Hurricane? I'm like, Hurricane Helms. What's up with that?
Yeah.
But
Did
yeah,
you go? Did you go toe to toe with the superhero?
You know what? I wasn't for sure if that was him or not, but I seen his Green Lantern tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
I was like, that's him.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta get a picture. But yeah, he was a real cool guy and everything. That was first time I got to meet a wrestler outside of like a wrestling venue and stuff. Pretty cool. What about you, James?
Honestly, I've never met a wrestler.
For real?
Yeah, I've never met any wrestler. Like, I've always, like, the closest I think I've come to meeting a wrestler was like years ago, like downtown, I want to say close to downtown Concord. There's like a meet and greet at this, like, it's like a hair shop now, but it used to be like this, like, memorabilia store. And, like,
I know what you talking about.
Yeah.
They used to have like Kane and the Hardy Boys to come there.
Yeah, like this particular Saturday, they had Mankind and I think Terry Reynolds there.
I know what you're talking about.
And like I said, I really want, like, that was the closest I came because I said I wanted to go, but like I said, it just never happened.
I live right nearby there, man, and I was gonna go. I seen the posters for that. Like every time they had like wrestlers come in for like meet and greets. And then that's when I found out, like, you had to pay to, get the picture and, meet the wrestler or whatever. And at the time, I was like a teenager and I didn't have a job. I'm like, man, I know I can't ask my mom for this money and stuff because she could be like, hell no, you can watch them on damn TV or whatever. But like,
then there was another time downtown, up here in Kannapolis, like a couple years ago, up at the insurance company. I know you remember the direct insurance company that had TNA up there. It was like, I think you could have met like Velvet Sky, Matt Morgan. You said what?
It's like right up there by Dutch's place.
Yeah, I remember one point because my sister was like, my sister was like, there's some wrestlers up here. She's like, these wrestlers up here. And I'm like, my sister was telling me about wrestlers up there, and I'm like, whatever. Like, I thought my sister was making something up, like, trying to get me. And I was like, nah. And then come to find out, I was like, I think it was like Velvet Sky, I want to say ODB possibly, Matt Morgan.
Yeah, I remember Matt Morgan.
James Storm, I think.
I think Nick Aldis was there, too, as Magnus.
Oh, Magnus. Oh.
Yeah,
I had to look after him and Doug Williams once at a show. Oh God, no, that was first thing he said. How long have you been? Are you a Brit, Giddy? Yes, I'm a Brit. He says, have you got Sky? I went, yeah. He says, mention Gladiators and I'll kill you. I went, okay. I'm not mentioning Gladiators. He went, I said, can I ask one question? He says, sure. I says, did you enjoy it? He says, without Gladiators, I'm not here. That's what I'm saying. I went, fair enough. Because Dixie Carter saw him doing Gladiators and he was a young wrestler at 19, and then next minute he ended up in TNA being the British Invasion. So.
Hey, yeah.
Oh.
I remember when he first came to TNA, I was like, who was this guy?
Yeah, Magnus. He looked like a gladiator, didn't he? He looked like a gladiator. I think I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he had to be a Brit, didn't he? No!
Then, like 20 years later, they gave that gimmick to Karrion Kross.
He's just turned down AEW. He's just been on a look on websites. He's just turned down AEW.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Freddie Prinze Jr. was saying that's like the main guy he wants to get when he starts his promotion or whatnot. So it's like, hope he gets it.
Yeah, I think wherever I don't know where Karrion Kross will end up, but he's a star no matter where he goes. But
I'm gonna go dig that sock out somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah. Just for you, I've got a great Mick Foley story because I've had a T-shirt in my wardrobe just there. There's a T-shirt that's got Mick Foley's name on it, and I'm supposed to give it to him. My charity event called Soccer and Spandex. We did the first one, and he's got word of it, and he got in contact with me because I was the main guy about it, and it's my first one. I didn't know. And he goes, "Hello, my name is Mick Foley," and I went, "Yeah, of course it's Mick Foley. Of course it is. It can't be the Mick Foley. It's a fan thing." And he says, "I want to donate something to your Soccer and Spandex as an auction." And I went, sure, why not? And he says, "Yeah, did you watch WrestleMania?" And I went, "Yes." He says, "Right, the outfit that I wore at WrestleMania 30, I'm giving to you." I went, "A what? Excuse me, what?" And this is all on Twitter, and my phone is shaking. I'm like, the real Mick Foley has just offered me his complete outfit from WrestleMania 30 when he came out with Shawn Michaels on the Austin. I went, "Are you sure?" And he went, yeah, no. And he says, "Only thing I ask is I want a t-shirt." And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And I'm still waiting to meet him. And I got close a few years ago, but if ever he comes back, I'll go and I'll meet him, and I'm going to give him the t-shirt that I've got in that thing, and it's still there, and it's never been worn. It was printed, everything for him in a special colours, but it's Mick Foley's t-shirt, and I'm still waiting to meet him. Unbelievable.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great. You saying you had a charity event coming up? You want to let the people know so that you can, I guess, see how to donate or participate?
Yeah, if you search on Twitter or Facebook, there's an event called Soccer and Spandex. We have it's in memory of a wrestler called Chris Travis, who tragically died. Me and Chris shared a journey because we both had cancer at the same time in 2014, 2015. And my cancer never came back, but unfortunately Chris is dead. He made a comeback in August 2015, but 3 weeks after the comeback, his cancer returned, so he had to retire, and this time it was terminal. We organised an event so him and all his wrestling friends and all the best ones in the world could get together and raise money to buy Chris a scooter so he could get around everywhere in Sheffield and go from A to Z. 2 months before the event, Chris passed away, so we couldn't have. So I was all set to cancel. Nearly every wrestler that I knew said, "No, you can't do this. We need this day." So we did the first one in 2016. We raised Mick Foley's outfit. We raised £2,500, and we've had it every year since. And this year it's a big day because now it's Soccer and Spandex in the day, but then we've got a wrestling event at night as well. So we've got all the wrestlers that are playing football, soccer during the day. They're going to be wrestling at night as well. And it's going to be in Sheffield on July the 9th. And I'm getting in full mode of it because I've just been buying everything I can find and cheap for auctions and stuff like that. I've got so many things I'm auctioning away. It's going to be an amazing day. It's going to be the most stressful day of my life. I can feel it because I've not done it for 3 years because of COVID restrictions. But every time we've done it, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and better. We've had to move venues this year because it was too big for the other venue. But we always do it in name of Chris. Chris is always with us. He's always in memories of us and everything like that. We even have pink. He always used to wear pink and black. So that's the reason I've got my pink stuff. And when I stream, I wear pink and black because it's a tribute to him.
Okay.
But we shared a journey that we don't wish on anybody. And we both had cancer, and we just used to share so many funny stories at the time about the chemotherapy and the side effects. And the funny, we used to keep each other going all the time about it. And he was just a magical person. He used to have, if you ever search Chris Travis, you'll see him wrestling Finn Balor, Kevin Steen. We never had the big overseas wrestlers. He was the one that always wrestled them, and he was the one that you always had a great match with him. And he was an awesome lad, awesome. I miss him so much because I know somewhere it's like he started doing the charity events, but then when he passed away, I was like, well, I've got to do this because it's my turn to show the world that what I can do. And every so often I get people saying, are you doing Soccer and Spandex? And I went, yeah. And I bought the wristbands yesterday morning, and today alone I've sold nearly 150 wristbands just because I've just put these black and pink wristbands out, and they've said, yeah, I want one. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be, and it's on. If you go on Facebook, Search Facebook Soccer and Spandex. And on Twitter, it's the same thing, Soccer and Spandex. All the details are there. We've got a program this year, and every time I read that program, it's brought me to tears because so many people have said so many nice things about it. I always said that I didn't want to be in the limelight. I didn't want to do anything like that. But all these buggers have put me in the bleeding limelight, and I'm like, I don't want to be. But it's an amazing event. It's funny as hell. Wrestlers playing sports and another bottle of wrestling. They do clotheslines and big drop kicks. So funny. It's so funny. We get a proper ref, and he tries to send them all off during the games. He tries to go, right, you're off. The wrestlers, let them have a go. Let them do it. But it's one of the funniest days ever. It really is.
Yeah.
I can relate.
3 weeks time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can relate with the cancer department because my dad passed away in October, and yesterday was his birthday, and he had got his cancer diagnosis the day before his last birthday, and I was struggling. I was struggling the past few days. Like, I'll be 100% honest with you. So anything that goes towards that, I wish I could help in some way, like with that. It's getting up to me. It's like next month. It's this 8 years since I was told I got it. Mm-hmm. And I've never smoked. I've never drank. I've never took drugs in my life. Yeah. And I went to the doctors with a sore throat, and to be told that I've got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma just went boom. But if it wasn't for the British wrestling people and it wasn't for them, I don't know what would have happened, because as soon as they found out I got this, they just go and rally round and everything. And then Chris announced that he got his. And I've always loved Chris, and he was a big fan of mine. I'm a big fan of his. And he just said to me, chemotherapy, he's put on Twitter, chemotherapy starts next week. I don't know what to expect, but I know it's going to be hard. So I sent him a direct message, and I said, can I send you a message? And he says, yeah. Next minute, Chris Travis is following me. I marked out like the bleeding mark I am. I don't care. And then he just said, right, what do I expect? And I told him every stage of what's to happen with chemotherapy. And he went, right. And we told the funniest story about when his hair fell out. So it's one of them stories that I always tell, and it's one of them that's really, really funny. But it relates to somebody when they're saying, oh yeah, you must go through hell when your hair falls out. I went, yeah, but you just ask us about it. What happened when his hair fell out? Because he was going out to have a night on the town. He was going out to all the nightclubs, and he washed his hair, got the load of gel, went with his head like this, and then this big clump of hair was in his hand, and he went, oh, I've just wasted all this gel and all this hairspray. Oh my God, I'll have to shave my head now. And he shaved his head. So, and then I tell my story, but that's just like, I just had an itch, and then next minute I went, what the hell? And all my hair from down below was on my hands, and I'm like, oh God.
Oh no. And my wife just started laughing. She went, could only happen to you. I lost hair everywhere except my eyebrows. That was the one place I didn't want to lose hair, because I didn't want to look surprised for 4 months. So, yeah, it's something that I always have that. But I'm glad I'm still here. I'll always be glad I'm here. It's just the way that my little thing, Spandex, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I keep threatening that it's going to be my last one, but my wife always says to me, she went, what would you do if you didn't have Spandex? What would you do? And I'm like, I don't know. She went, exactly. Just keep it going. So,
yeah,
I've got to.
Great event for a great cause. Man.
Yep.
And we're glad you're still here with us, man.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I guess that wraps everything up. Unless y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about before we...
No. It's getting light over here now. It's getting light at 3 o'clock.
We're approaching 4 hours. We're approaching 4 hours on the stream.
Good Lord.
Well, it has been a busy week.
Yeah, it's been a busy week.
It's been a busy week.
We all had a bunch of rants that we need to get off our chest, and I think
James, stay on here for a minute. I just got something to tell you, because I told the other two, and I think we need to hear this as well.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what? I thought you were going to tell me something. I'm sorry.
No.
We're like, hey, peace. You still
Oh.
sitting there?
Oh. All right, y'all
Damn,
be sure to
dude.
do something nice for someone, and we're going to be signing off here. Y'all have a great night, and peace.
That's it. You finish.
Let me